I'm really amused. Fam, how you doing today? Patrick Mahomes is getting butchered. I didn't see that coming because I figured he'd get a pass. Now, it's after you lose to Tom Brady, you're permanently scarred. Eli Manning is now maybe the greatest quarterback not named Tom Brady because he never lost to Tom and beat him twice. They're even saying that poor Deshaun, poor Mahomes may go down the same road as Russell Wilson, who's crying about, listen, and he hadn't said it yet. Russell ought to go ahead and say it, man, look, I'm getting too old to outrun every defender in the NFL. Y'all got to let me have some say in the personnel decisions you make going forward or else. Meanwhile, Russell's getting paid, what, $35 million a year? So, Russ, you can't have nobody help protect you. Yeah. Oh, Hawks. Hey, in fact, where are those people? Has anybody seen Eddie Ramirez? Eddie! Hey, listen, Joseph Smiley, Tommy Testosterone, minus the testosterone. Come on in, man. You guys are welcome to come on in here. Rudy's always hanging around in here. You got some alliance? Let's get started. Fam, you know what? As the Niners move towards adjusting the franchise for the 2021 season, there will be an unusual amount of challenges in this particular upcoming season. The cap will most likely offer the most difficult dilemma to begin with, although it's probably going to get a little larger than it is. And we discussed that the other day, how it seems that John Lynch seems cool and calm about the cap. The contract strategy is going to have to be the new precedent, though, this year, not only for San Francisco, but throughout the NFL. So and maybe that's why he's feeling so good about, I ain't worried. Okay, good. Okay, you going to have a team? Players that would have been maintained under normal circumstances will probably be leaving. And because we carry a lot of guys, when you carry like the C.J. Beathard and that kind of thing, you're not going to be able to carry the luxury of just having guys hang out, you know. Who are the players with the highest potential to not be Niners in 2021 is the question tonight. We'll be taking your calls regarding that. Right along with everything else, it's Niners! By the way, let me, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me, because I know more red meat for the Get Rid of Jimmy G Club, boy. There's a report out there to make you crazy. I know you already saw it. I just want to laugh at it. NFL insider Benjamin Albright reports that the Niners are among the teams that have made calls to inquire about Eagles QB Carson Wentz. Oh, but before you get excited, let's get one thing straight. A team making a call doesn't necessarily indicate a strong desire to acquire a player. We've already seen that already, and we've heard about it. A team like the 49ers might simply be inquiring about an available player and doing their due diligence. I don't know, but I'm trying to understand what is with that. What does due diligence mean? As has been expected for years, ever since John Lynch and company got here. We never knew what Trent was doing, if anything. But Albright does note that some teams have reached out to inquire about the price for Wentz, but have not made any offers. So I guess this is just what they do. You call up, you're walking down the street and you see maybe you see a car you like. You know you probably don't want to pay what they're charging for that car. It is an Alfa Romeo or is it, Maserati. So how much for that Scarlet Red are you talking? Sir, if you have to ask how much it costs, it's probably beyond your pay scale. Yeah, you're right. Okay. I'll back up like I was kidding. Albright also mentioned the Chicago Bears, who Mayfield might be the most interested in Wentz, Indianapolis Colts, and, of course, the Houston, Texas name makes no sense. So unless Houston is looking at Philly as a trade partner, I don't know if Watson would agree to go there because, he's got it in his contract. He's going to pick and choose if there's any trades made where he's going, right? So, and by the way, it's out of control. Every writer in the NFL, every other 49er fan believes that the 49ers are dying to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo, right? So no matter which team's trying to pry Watson away from the Texans, the price is going to be off the meter to begin with. Watson was only 25, just led the NFL in passing, and is just entering his prime. We talked about that. When you're behind every game, like him and Stafford, yeah, you're passing all game long. Of course your yards are going to be built up. Yeah, you know what? I'm ready to argue. You know that. I will say anything I feel about it. I'm not, he's a top 4 quarterback, though, in the league, and only will get better, especially if he's given the proper talent and coaching around him. The 49ers are one of many teams that have been seen as a potential landing spot for Watson should the Texans start to actually entertain offers, even though they would be fools to do that, which I think they're going to stand their ground on that. You get rid of Watson, you get laughed out of Texas. You already messed up last year by getting rid of D-Hop. Him and Watson probably would have been dominant, which really confuses me. Why weren't they? They were, but they weren't winning any games. The cost of trading for he's only 25, so he's a generational quarterback. That will cost, just for that definition alone, I would start at 3 first-round picks. If you get 2 for Stafford, you damn sure going to get 3 for Watson. Texas reporting also would want 2 young defensive stars, which in the 49ers case would put Nick Bosa in the deal. Oh, hell no. Kyle's bro, Chris Sims, chimed in on that one. He says he doesn't think San Francisco will be willing to do that. Sims told NBC Sports Bay Area, I have a hard time thinking that they would give up Nick Bosa. Again, rookie year Bosa and what they've seen from him, they can't give up on him. They are not going to give him away to anybody. Nick Bosa, even after his rookie year, was arguably in the conversation for the best defensive player in football, not named Aaron Donald, after his rookie year. So I don't imagine that, especially with that defensive scheme. And they are playing there in San Francisco, unquote. See, this is the thing, what I got a kick out of, the same thing with Tom Brady as he beat up on Deshaun. By the way, Deshaun did not play that bad. He hit Tyreek Hill all up in the face with the ball, okay? The Bucs just had them shook up. I don't know how and how they missed it as much as they did. They had several drops. Let's see, this is the thing. I'm defending Mahomes. When Jimmy was out there getting drops and everything else was going wrong and getting swamped by the defense, he couldn't get no love. So I just show you. I take observations seriously and clearly. I don't just throw things out there because I don't like a quarterback. I'm not crazy about Mahomes. But I felt sorry for him because the fact is he's got a bad toe. He's got he's familiar with his tackles. They're gone. If he would have pulled that miracle off, he would have been the GOAT. And he didn't even play anymore. There's Tom. Within the last 2 rings, I had to post it up. Within the last 2 rings, Tom has had to deal with 12 points. That's all he's had to overcome. And they're not all in the same game. 3 points from the Rams, 9 points from the Chiefs. Tom is living the life, boy. I mean, he didn't even, granted, and he brought his buddies, right? He brought Gronk and AB. He didn't even use the Bucs. Mike Evans didn't do damn thing. He brought in Fournette that led the league, I think, in postgame. Ronald Jones didn't play that much. So it was all about Tom Brady being the GM. He brought the right guys over with him, and they won. It's hilarious. So anyway, let's get right down to business about who was leaving the 49ers. So looking down the roster, I started picking off players I think may be doomed. And C.J. Beathard, of course, is out of here. Josh Johnson just got re-signed, from what I understand. Nick Mullins is probably gone. Josh Rosen is going to be the backup quarterback. Tevin Coleman, I suspect, is gone. Jerick McKinnon already said he's leaving. Jerick said, man, F y'all, man. I ain't coming back to front. Austin Walter just got re-signed. Jeff Wilson Jr., of course, is probably going to be one of the premier backs of the 49ers next year. I'm scared what's going to happen to Juice. But you might also pencil Juice in. I don't know because, I don't know how good Josh Hockett looked. But as I look at these names, Travis Benjamin, didn't he say he was going to be, didn't Travis check out because of COVID reasons? So he's not, did he sign up with anybody? Didn't we see his name mentioned somewhere else during the course of the season? Rigger Crackraft. Richie James, Jordan Matthews was never really. Trent Taylor, that's another name that you probably figure is not coming back. I'm not going to resign Trent. Let's look at some of these guys who were on the practice squad. They're probably not going to come back anyway. And Jordan Reed. Is Jordan coming back next year? Can they afford Jordan Reed is a thing? Is he willing to play for a team-friendly deal? Weston Richburg. You've got to figure if Alan Mack is available. And I say this about Richburg only because Alex Mack is available. Do you go ahead and get Mack? You can get 2 more years out of Mack, most likely. Weston Richburg is a lot younger, but can he actually come out there and do what Alex Mack can do, if he ever could? Looking down through here, also Sean Coleman. There's going to be interesting to see what they do with Sean Coleman. Now, he probably should stay just because he's affordable, and Mike McGlinchey needs some competition. And as I look down through the defense, Ronald Blair, fam, you know what? I penciled Ronald Blair in mainly because they might like Corey Hyder a lot. You can't probably keep them both. So, D Ford may retire. I don't think he can play anymore. Contavious, Solomon Thomas. I can't imagine them actually re-signing Thomas. When you got Kevin Givens and DJ Jones, Javon Kinlaw, Aziz Al-Shar, do you keep him? Is he still on his rookie contract? I think so, right? Flanagan Foles, you don't keep him. You keep Greenlaw. Mark Nzacha, you keeping Mark? Special teams. Joe Walker just joined us last year. Do you keep him? Tim Harris Jr. is probably going to stay. Dante Johnson's going to be on speed dial if we need him. Jamar Taylor, if he comes back, you got to keep him, right? If he's still able to play. Although he got hurt late, so he might not be able to come back next year. Ken Webster, I understand they've already re-signed him. Kello Witherspoon. And see, the names are adding up. We're already into double digits. They just signed Obi Melifanu. Timor's staying, and that's the reason why Jaquaski Tart probably isn't. As they're looking at Melifanu to see if he can actually play that safety spot instead of Kwaski. You know, because otherwise, why they take a good look at him? They look at Melifanu's brother as well in the draft. We're going to see. But family, your list of people that you might think that are going to leave us, did I make some mistakes? We'll go down that route. What we got any conversation? Watson trade price just not worth it. Sarah's 11. Yeah, that's 3. The 3 draft picks is one thing, but you start talking about Nick, and they want 2 defensive players. Goodbye, Fred. Hell no. Brick 25 says Mullins, T. Taylor, Coleman, Beathard will go. Those are the ones we all agree with, right? But who are the ones that we're not noticing that just might not see opening day in a San Francisco 49er uniform? Yes. Let us get lead here right now. By the way, let me mention this real quickly. Stand down, Jimmy. I got this, man. Listen, if you want to argue about Jimmy and you think we hung up the phone on you because I'm getting ran down, please. You know what? I'll argue all night. That's my dude, all right? So if you got hung up, it's mostly because production got mad at us for arguing past a certain time. Fam, anybody that can endure Stephen A. Smith's cousin, Niner Mike, ain't nothing you bringing that I can't handle, okay? I ain't scared of y'all. You know this. Come on, man. Santana running around telling people, and Trey, you too, man. Come on, man. Stop telling people I get scared because you start talking about Jimmy G. Oh, no. No. Hey, Lee.
Say good night to the black guy. The last time you're going to see a bad guy like this again. Get away from the bad guy. And the bad guy coming through.
I thought it was Niner Mike. It scared me. Even though I said I ain't scared of him, boy, I'm scared of that. I'm like, hey, Lee, man, Lee, you're the guy for this, man. Who are we keeping and who are we getting rid of? Better yet, who are we getting rid of? Because I look at these names, and I'm partial to some guys, but I know, man. But what are you thinking?
We're getting rid of, there's so many guys that we have to re-sign if we want to bring these guys back. Everyone, we're like a whole secondary apart from Jimmy Ward. I don't really want to bring CJ back.
He's not.
We could probably keep Nick for competition for the guys, for the backups, for him and Rosen.
But you don't think they're going to draft anybody then?
Yeah, they might draft someone in the later rounds. Like I told you, I'm not really keen on drafting someone at 12 because Fields, Lawrence, and Wilson will be off the board. I don't think it's worth drafting a quarterback at 12.
Rosen's not going to. What if Jimmy gets hurt early? Rosen's not ready. You're right.
Nah, he's got to learn the system, Ronbo. He's one of those guys that's got probably the best arm in our team. For pure arm talent. I even heard Brian Flores say that he had the best arm out of him, Fitzpatrick, and Tua. But the reason they let him go was he just wasn't processing things as fast and picking them up. This is his third team now.
That's a bad sign. If he wasn't able to pick it up quickly, Kyle's offense is going to make him nuts. It's going to be like, God, it's going to be calculus.
Yeah, exactly.
But go ahead.
So the best thing for Rosen, I know that people are quite hyped about him. I haven't heard many toolers talk about Rosen. I think they're just giving up on him and they forgot that he's actually on our team because he hasn't played. But he just needs time. So if we give him as much time as possible, that'll be the best situation for him. He's not a pocket passer. So, yeah, if we give him time to learn the system, we could draft someone later. I know people with something like Trask, some people like the Texas A&M guy. But, yeah, I haven't really looked too much really hard at those later round corners. I've been looking at all our needs a little bit. I feel like you've got to put the pieces around Jimmy or whoever's our quarterback. A lot of the guys are picking off winning a new quarterback. But as you've seen in the Super Bowl, ladies and gentlemen,
it's the guys around you. That's right.
That's why I said to you the other day. Yeah, and there's too, Ronbo, and a lot of our smart callers know this too. Like, you can have the best quarterback. You can have Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers or Mahomes, but if you don't have the protection, they don't have time to make the plays. They won't consistently make them. And if you had switched, Mahomes to the Bucks and you put Rodgers or Brady on the Chiefs, Brady would have lost, And that's the thing, it doesn't matter what quarterback. Mahomes has been the hottest quarterback in the league probably over the last 3 seasons. Rodgers was MVP this year, but over probably a 3-year span, and, he couldn't get a touchdown on him. And I said to you the other day, I said, I like the Bucks because I feel like they've got the better defense, and I feel like they're going to give the quarterback more time because the Chiefs' O-line was all banged up, right, Ronbo?
Yeah, both tackles out of there.
I don't think we expected that. Yeah, I don't think we expected that blowout, though, Ronbo. I thought they could win,
expect that.
I don't think they're going to blow them out. Yeah. So I was happy for the Bucks, Ronbo. Sorry?
What's really funny, though, is like I said, Tom didn't even use the Bucks. He used all the new products on the Bucks offense. He used his dude Gronk, of course, AB, these are guys, and they didn't even want AB, right? Arians didn't want AB over there.
Yep.
No, I got to have AB, Bruce. Okay, just sign right here, please. And he got him, and he actually got one of the TDs. It's about maturity and veteranship in these cases, and he got it. Fournette, Gronk,
and
Brown.
You see that. Tom, he was moving the ball around. He doesn't rely on one person. I felt like in the game against the Packers, he was going to Evans a lot. And it was quite easy for the defense in the second half. They got a few plays in the Packers because they knew that he was going to Evans all the time. He didn't have AB underneath, or another person helping out. And Godwin was wasn't really getting free there because they had Jair Alexander on him, and he's a beast.
He was.
And they got the run game going, Fournette. Yeah. And then they got Fournette going. They had Gronk, AB. Everyone chipped in and did their part. And that's what we can do on the Niners, people. You get Kittle, get the run game going. Ayuk, Debo. Jimmy can win us a lot of games. He can get us back to the Super Bowl if you put these pieces around them. But we've got to start up front. We've got to fix our B-line and our O-line there, Ronbo, because did you see how the Bucs were getting their pressure with just their full front?
And then they would sneak. And Lee, did you see how cleverly they would sneak a blitz? Okay, the front four was doing a great job, but
Yeah,
they
every
would
now and then.
keep all those receivers, everybody that was anybody on that offense, in the Chiefs offense, they kept them right in front of them, and they still put the pressure on Mahomes. I was so impressed with that defense. Damn. That's how everybody's
Yeah,
going to do them next year, though. That's what's going to be funny.
Yeah, it pissed me off over, when we made the Super Bowl because, Bosa was being held the entire game. And, we were just unlucky that we had those refs because that ref, he's known for not calling stuff. He's the same ref that does the stuff in the Rams Saints game. Remember the year before, that NFC Championship game, he didn't call it? And he's known for not calling it, I feel like the Bucs got lucky sort of because they had refs that were calling stuff, and that's the difference, I feel like everyone's moaning about the refs, but they weren't the same refs, Some refs call stuff and some let it go, and you've got to play for that, Ronbo.
I tell you, I was so pissed. I said, okay, the refs now, you're calling everything. Now you're not. Okay, that's fine. Lee, we're going to go out of time. If something breaks, I'll be back tomorrow. I can't wait. Otherwise, I'll see you
Right, Ronbo,
toward the end of the week.
I hope we keep Williams and Verrette, and thank you for everything you're doing in the off-season and during the season. Thank you, Ronbo.
Thank you, Lee. Looking forward to hearing from you later. Have a great day. And Nutterbot says this Super Bowl proved that an elite quarterback is essential. I thought Mahomes was elite. Winston to Brady is like poop to diamonds. This is why mediocre Jittery G has got to go. See, Nutterbot, you know where your whole post went south? You said the Super Bowl proved that an elite quarterback. Mahomes was considered the cream of the crop. So that already killed your whole thing. You've got to have talent around any quarterback, and he's got to have protection. If anything, Brady proved that. 9 points, and Brady had no problem all day getting rid of the ball. Hey, Marion! Mary!
What's going on, man?
Marion, you know what? We didn't open the phone. Did you enjoy that game? I know. I forgot Marion, but he ain't got no headphones, so he ain't going to be able to hear. Because I know it was noisy enough to drown you out. Marion, talk to me, man. I'm getting rid of players tonight, and then you can chime in on what your experience at the Super Bowl.
Okay, I can do that. Yeah, you talking about our players on free agency?
Yeah, because we can't keep everybody.
I mean, there's some people that really need to go. I heard something that John Lynch claimed that he have sleepless nights for not drafting Patrick Mahomes, and he went to his pro day and he did all that, and he was going a different direction. We're going with Solomon Thomas, and I'm thinking to myself, you wait till the third round to go draft C.J. Beathard out of everybody who you wait to go draft C.J. Beathard. I mean, listen. You had a chance to go get Deshaun Watson or Mahomes, not Trubisky, but Trubisky wasn't ready at the time. It was somebody else that came out, and I think Josh Allen, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I think it was Josh Allen. I'm not sure.
I think you're right.
But you could have did that, but no, you go and you draft C.J. Beathard. But yeah, man. I mean, bring people back who deserve, who earned the right to play. I think we should hold on to Witherspoon since Sherman's going to be gone. I think Witherspoon has healed up from his foot injury completely. Mm-hmm. I know we should bring back. The D4 situation, that's kind of sticky. No matter what
I just don't think he's physically able to play. I can't imagine.
Yeah, but
man,
it's not that. We still got to pay our money regardless, whether we keep him or not. That was a bad move by John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. We know Sherm's gone. We know that. Nick Mullins and C.J. Beathard need to go. Josh Rosen, though, do not sleep on Josh Rosen. I don't care what y'all do. If something happens to Garoppolo, Josh Rosen to keep the team afloat. So that's something we really need.
Did you just hear, though, what Lee said? knock on Rosen was he wasn't progressing. If that's true, I'm a little worried about his comprehension
Man,
level. I hope he can grasp
man,
what Kyle's cooking
I
real
ain't, been,
quick.
I ain't gonna listen to that. I mean, listen. You get drafted. He was the 9th pick overall. You get drafted to Arizona Cardinals. He beat us twice, if you remember that.
Well,
Okay. As soon as they fired the head coach, they shipped him off to Miami. He never had an opportunity. You can't learn anything. You don't have an opportunity.
that's a good point.
He always been part of a quarterback carousel, you know. And if he gets an opportunity to the point to where that he has to be a starter, I think we'd be fine. Look, if Kyle Shanahan continue to give Nick Mullins and C.J. Beathard a chance, I'm sure he could give Josh Rosen a chance. Come on now.
I don't doubt it. I just hope it took CJ until this last year to even look somewhat okay. Nick knows the playbook like the back of his hand, from what I understand. So we'll see, and hopefully Josh can pick it up quick. Because I don't know. I love Jimmy, but I don't know how long he's going to stay upright. Because when he's out there, I feel good. I know we have a chance to win, but still.
If Jimmy get hurt again, then I go ahead and I let it go.
Yeah.
Until then, Jimmy Garoppolo, James Garoppolo is my quarterback. Okay.
We agree. Yeah.
You know.
He should be better than ever this year, too.
I mean, but the Super Bowl was cool. You know what I'm saying? Everything was great fun, man. One thing I enjoyed is to see the Kansas City Chiefs get exposed. And what I didn't like was the Kansas City Chiefs fans was complaining about penalty calls against them. But
Mary, it's a good thing I wasn't there with you, because we'd ended up in jail. I'd have called them out on that, and they would have came marching down to come get me, and I'd have met them halfway up the bleachers, boy. I said, "Come on down here, because you know what? I could just see it now, man."
I just don't understand how last year, when they was getting away with calls, I didn't hear not one Kansas City fan say, "Yeah, you know what? We did get away with that." Nothing. But as soon as it comes back on you, it's a problem. So I'm glad they got their ass whooped. And I said 31-30, but I got 31 right.
They should have scored more points. I don't know how they got shut down like that. That was hilarious. I think they got their feelings hurt with those calls.
He ran for 500 yards running backwards. But it backwards.
Mahomes needs to stop doing that. I realize he has a great arm, but you're going to get caught doing that. And he got caught how many times in that Super Bowl?
He got sacked at least about 3-4 times. I mean, but bruh, the moment the ball was snapped, they was already in. They was in the backfield already.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I didn't feel bad for them. I'm glad they lost, and I hope they make it again so we can play.
Man, we gotta go. I may be back tomorrow. I'm waiting for breaking news. It's that slow time of year where there may not be nothing. Otherwise, see you this weekend.
All right, that's cool. Well,
Glad you enjoyed that too.
I'll probably chit-chat with you in March on free agency.
All right.
When you get down to the nitty-gritty.
That's right. This is just
we'll
chiming
talk
back in. All right. Man, in between now and then, if I don't see you, just enjoy yourself to death. It's off season. All right.
I will.
All right,
Take it easy, man.
You too. And get your groove on. 97B says best way for improved Jimmy G's durability is give him a solid O-line, hire Brady's trainer. Jimmy, it would be funny if he took up TB12ism. Adapt the TB12 method. Eat a plant-based diet. That probably lends to flexibility, but he needs some bulk though. Hey, Tony.
Aloha, Ronbo. How you doing today?
Hey, Tony, doing fabulous. Hey, Tony, you know what? I want to get one thing clear because I'm amused every time I go to a restaurant or order a pizza or anything like that. Tony, do you love pineapple on everything that you eat?
Not on everything that I eat. I don't hate pineapple pizza, if that's what you're getting at. But it is certainly not my favorite, but pretty good with ham. Pineapple and ham is a winning combo.
That's
and
true.
maybe with some jalapenos if we're trying to kick it up a notch, as Mr. Emeril Lagasse would say. You know?
You got the sweet sour thing going. Yeah, no, I get a kick out because every time I look up the Hawaiian version, I say, wait a minute, do people in Hawaii like pineapple on everything? You do love pineapple. I do too. But I always wonder, why do you blame the Hawaiians for pineapple on everything?
Some sort of 1950s mentality. We used to grow it here back in the Hawaiian plantation days, and actually, we don't actually have any operational pineapple plantations in Hawaii anymore. It's kind of gone the way of the dodo. But you know what I mean? Like, I guess we'll take it. It's fine. You know, people on the internet like to argue about pineapple on pizza, like 49ers fans like to argue about if Jimmy G's good or not. So you know what? Like, as long as we're getting some publicity, that's fine with me. You know. I
agree. All right. Now that we cleared that up. Oh, God. I thought about you the other day. I had some pineapple on my pizza. I said, I don't have trouble with pineapple on my pizza, but I wonder, does everyone in Hawaii like pineapple on their pizza? And Tony just cleared that up.
You know, I wish we had some more Hawaiians on the San Francisco 49ers roster right now, but ever since Defoe left, I don't think we have anybody. And I'm hoping that's something that might be able to be rectified. Although I don't know if there's any major prospects. There was a center who played in the Hula Bowl last weekend who is considered an NFL prospect, but I don't think he's going to make it. But, you know, that's all cool. I will say this, though. You know, I made a spreadsheet of the unrestricted free agents that the 49ers are looking at. And
great. Right.
Yeah. You know, it's I think we're going to end up losing more of these guys than we're going to end up keeping, even though we have, you know, like a decent amount of cap space and, you know, compared to the rest of the league. But the guys that I went through that I'd like to have us keep, honestly, on a small contract, Solomon Thomas, I'd like us to see us bring back Juice, Ronald Blair. I think we have to bring back Ben Garland, even though he's getting up there in age, but we need somebody who knows the center position, you know? Now that could change if we end up getting Alex Mack, but I don't know if that's going to actually happen or not yet. I think we should. Agreed. Yeah, exactly. I think Jamar Taylor comes back because he was hurt at the end of last season. No one else is going to want him.
You can leave him on the IR. That's right. He won't go against the cap.
Exactly. And then also, this is a little bit contentious, but I think we should re-sign Ahkello Witherspoon. I still like his physical intangibles, and we drafted him, and I don't think he's going to command that big of a free agent price. And, you know, I would be honest with you, if we had to pick between Ahkello and Emmanuel Mosley, I think down the stretch, Ahkello played better than Mosley did. And I'd rather be willing to let Mosley leave just because, honestly, I think Ahkello is a better, just, you know, a height, weight,
potential.
Speed. Yeah, exactly. Like that kind of a guy. And then the two guys who I want to re-sign for edge depth, Dion Jordan and Jordan Willis. I really like those two guys towards the end. Now, they're not starters. They are situational pass rushers. But, you know, if we can find somebody maybe in the first or second round of the draft this year at that edge position, I think that those two guys would be good coming in, you know, on obvious passing downs and give us some good economical output. And then, you know, looking at the folks who we're going to lose, I think, unfortunately, DJ Jones is probably going to be too expensive for us. We can afford to get rid of Trent Taylor. I know. I love DJ Jones. And by the way that Vita Vea played in the Super Bowl just shows the importance of that nose tackle position when you're going up against teams that have like Mahomes. But DJ Jones is not Vita Vea. And I think between Kentavious Street and the other guys that we have on the inside, I think we can nose tackle by committee. But, you know, the other thing is I'm looking. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Givens does a good job. And Kinlaw, we don't know what we're going to get from him next year. So he could be our Vita Vea next year.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. And, you know, hopefully it's just a matter of that defensive line, Nick Bosa getting healthy so we can have Eric Armstead on the inside, you know, on pass rushing downs especially. And then if we have Kinlaw and Armstead rushing from the inside on third down, I mean, that's going to be, you know, they're going to be playing a lot of cleanup duty for Nick Bosa, so long as he comes back at like 95% of the player that he is. But you know, the two big names I didn't talk about are Trent Williams and Jason Verrette. And I don't think we can honestly know what the 49ers are going to do with that until closer to the draft until our quarterback situation is a little bit more settled. And, if we bring back Jimmy, I think we're going to have to sacrifice Verrette for that. But if Jimmy ends up walking, I think then we'll keep both Verrette and Williams. But those are the two that are really, really hard to predict. And those are, quite frankly, our two most important free agents that I think that we need next season is that left tackle and that cornerback. So, but
you might want to add Kaijuan in there too. But if Jamar, if he was healthy, you might wonder, Kaijuan, he's so good though.
Yeah.
You need them both.
I think Kaijuan goes to the Jets and follows Saleh, and we should be happy to accept a 5th-round draft pick compensatory in 2 seasons for him. Honestly, I love Kaijuan, but Saleh maximized Kaijuan, especially down the stretch. He maximized him, and I think looking at some of the other positions, I love Kaijuan, but he's a good blitzer, and he's so. He's good against the Seahawks in coverage, but I would say overall. He's not the greatest coverage guy, but a better blitzer than coverage guy, and I think he's expendable. But every NFL team is going to have a cut list a mile long this season, and so I want to see the draft and then post June 1, because that's where the real magic is going to happen. What happens after June 1, and what can we do? What can Parag do with his salary cap manipulation management after the draft to maybe free up some space to get some of the unexpected free agents? So, scary stuff, Ronbo.
But great observations, and you made me look at some of the guys I really like a little more on another shade. Kaijuan, you're probably right, and of course, Akello. Tony, I bet you're hitting a home run on this, man. I really do. I'm just wondering. We'll see.
Who knows? I'm just a fan. Anyway, thanks as always, Ronbo, for the venue to just speak my fan heart out, and I appreciate you. Mahalo and aloha, sir.
Thank you so much, Tony. Appreciate you every time you get in here, too. Mahalo, my friend. All right. There's Tony. He made some really, I tell you, he's going to be right. At least, on 2 or 3 of those. Hey, Phil.
Hey, Ronbo.
Phil, that is. Phil, I'm looking at where we're going to cut the fat. I feel like Tony just made me realize Mosey actually. What are you thinking, Phil?
Well, I'm thinking it's easier to say who we're going to keep versus who we're going to cut.
Well,
I'm looking at
less number.
Trent Williams.
Yeah.
Trent Williams is a must. I think Jason Verrette is a must. I think Juice is a must. And I think Kaijuan, because we don't have a slot corner. And I disagree with Tony a little bit. He was a pretty good cover corner as well. He shut down Cooper Kupp, and he shut down some of the best slot receivers in the league.
Tyler Lockett too.
Lockett.
Yeah, he does make slot receivers disappear.
And the other thing is, that June 1st date is correct. I mean, we got to be patient because there's going to be guys like I think Marcus Lattimore is going to be a free agent possibly.
Can you imagine?
Or you might be able to trade with the Saints so that a 3rd round pick for him and then restructure his contract so he doesn't take a $10 million hit on you. But there's no dead money on the contract, so you might be able to get someone there. I mean, the Saints are $80 million over the cap.
Oh,
so they've got to cut a lot of people.
Oh,
so the Rams are $25 million over the cap. I don't know how they're going to do it. They've got contracts that are just going to kill them. And there's 11 teams that are over the cap. 11 teams.
Not surprised.
And so and then you look at some of the teams. Then you look at some of the teams that are under the cap a great deal. You look at the Colts, and they don't have a quarterback. So
they're going to be. They have to spend some money somewhere.
What's it going to cost them? So I just, I think we're going to be fine, but we're going to be able, if we're patient, going to be able to get some of these guys on the cheap. I think DJ Jones is going to be cheap because nobody's going to have the money to pay for him. And I think some of these other guys. Now, Shala is a guy you got to worry about because he knows these players and he's going to poach some of them.
Yep.
and he's got a lot of cap room. But and plus, we're going to have
Phil,
10
and they're going to
players
love to
coming
go
in for
play
the
for him
draft.
too, because he's been their
Yeah,
man.
but they're still the Jets. They're still the Jets. And I don't think Charlotte could change that.
Salah and the Jets.
But anyway, I'm thinking you just got to be patient. We're gonna upgrade some positions just by being patient and waiting for these guys to get cut off these other teams and get them on the low end, because they're going to be desperate to get maybe a 1-year contract and then try to get another contract after the money rises on the salary cap. But
and Phil, they'll be flexible too, because they just got let out because nobody can afford them. So they'll come to San Francisco crying for too much if you want to play.
But I think, if we get rid of Richburg and Ford after June 1st, we get a lot more money on the cap. I think it was like $18 million additional on the cap.
Wait, is that the way that works? After a certain date? After June?
Yeah. So June 1st, if you do it after June 1st, you get different, there's different cap hits. So that's why that date is important. And that's when teams have to get down to the cap.
Yeah.
And so there's going to be a flurry of players that are going to be. So we're going to have this free agent period, and then we're going to have the draft, and then we're going to have another free agent period after June 1st.
Wow, you've got to
and
really
because all
project
the teams,
smart on this.
Exactly. So, but there might be some really good players, like Pro Bowl players, that are on the cheap because of cap casualties after June 1st. So, as Tony was saying, that's a date to look for. But I think we're still in good shape financially. We've got some guys that we can cut to make room, and we've got not too many holes to fill. The defensive backfield, the cornerback situation. But if Verrette signs with us, and I'm still thinking at 12 we draft a corner.
Oh yeah. And for no other reason, but
then,
just you have to start building up that room.
Well, we haven't, since Deion Sanders, haven't had that shutdown corner that you can go one-on-one on an island out there and just basically shut down half the field. We haven't had that corner.
Is there one available
someone
right
like
now
that
in the draft, though?
Well,
Surtain
of the top three guys, I think there's Horn, Surtain, and what's the last guy's name? But anyway, there's three corners that are pretty good.
Yeah, the guy with all the speed. I was just talking about him a while back.
Yeah.
But there's a few.
Farley.
So.
But anyway,
Farley. Yeah,
no, there's three corners in the draft. There's three corners in the draft. If one of them gets down to us, I would say that's the guy.
Yeah.
If not, trade back and get more picks and start just get a bunch of players and see if you hit on a couple.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, there's two ways to approach it. But anyway, there's going to be a lot of activity over the next few months.
It's going to be insane.
Until,
between now and June 1st.
Middle of June, it's going to be, yeah.
And then on June 1st, get your popcorn, because that's the best day to make a move. But if you wait too long and somebody jumps earlier than you do on this particular free agency period, you lose. Scary stuff, Phil.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If you make a trade and get control over the player, then you can redo their contract and
put yourself in
and make
position.
it cap friendly. So,
all right, good stuff, Phil.
There's going to be a lot of wheeling dealing going on, so it's going to be interesting.
For sure.
Anyway,
all right, Phil. Yeah, I'm gonna.
All
I'll tell you
right,
what.
Ronbo.
All right, Phil. Appreciate you. You know this. I'll see you in a couple of days, maybe tomorrow even. Depends on if something crazy happens.
Yeah, keep calling. Keep calling, having a call, so we don't have to listen to Grant Cohn as a supplement. So, you're
No
killing
problem.
me there. All right, man. Talk to you later.
You too, man.
All right,
nice.
bye.
And Sherry.
What's up, Ronbo?
Shay, man, I'm sitting back here wondering how the 49ers going to get this roster to a place where they can actually work with it. And, man, I did come through double digits on cutting people, but none of them, only a few of them are earning any money. So I don't know. I mean, but you know what? Everybody's salary adds up. So, no matter how much reduction you do, it helps. But what are you thinking?
No, yeah, I mean, it's just like I said, it's gonna be an interesting off season. We're gonna start seeing a lot of gymnastics. We're gonna see a lot of these teams start doing these backloaded contracts. So the Rams are gonna have to do some gymnastics. I know
Lots.
Phil said the Saints. A lot of teams, a lot of these teams that are over the cap by 20 plus are gonna have to start doing these off-season gymnastics to try to flip these contracts, man, to try to get under the cap. So it'll be interesting. I think they're finalizing. It'll be around like 1.81. I think it was like 5 to 6 mil higher than the original 175. So it's going to be looking like 181 is going to be the cap for the new year, and then obviously it'll go up after that with like the signing deals, all the TV money they did with like DirecTV and all these other TV deals that they did. So yeah, it's just going to be interesting, Ronbo. Like I said, I think Trent Williams is a must. And then it goes down the ladder at that point, right? Like Jason Verrette, Kaijuan. Hopefully we can sign as much guys as we can. And the Niners might be looking. I don't know who. I'm trying to think of who they could have restructure a contract. No names come up to mind right now. So it'll be interesting to see because. I mean, the main person that everybody's talking about is Jimmy Garoppolo's contract. I mean, he's making the most money out of everybody. It goes him, then D4, then Richburg. So, and like I said it earlier, I said it also, but like Phil reiterated also too, for anytime post June 1st, that's when you're gonna start seeing like D4's cap cut, and then also Richburg. They can move them off the books, but you can't use that cap salary until after June 1st. So, I mean, a lot of free agents, the free agent opens up March 17th is the new league year. So there's going to be a lot of people signed. But like you said, a lot of people are going to be doing those gymnastics to be under the salary cap for the new year. So you'll be seeing a lot of people getting cut and released. And like I said, because it's going to be a down year, you're going to see a lot of guys signing these one-year contracts. There's like a couple of safeties coming out who, they're coming off injury, but Malik Hooker was having like an all-pro season before he got injured. He might sign him to a prove-it deal like Jason Verrette. Same thing with Keanu Neal. These guys have had lingering injuries, but if you can utilize them on a team-friendly deal and maximize their potential out there, you can have a situation where you get a bargain, right? So, like I said, it'll just be interesting to see what the Niners view as priority, and you can kind of look at what they're going to do for the draft-wise with people they bring back. So, for instance, if they don't bring back, let's say they don't bring back Trent Williams, but they sign other players, they might sign like a key edge rusher guy. So that makes you think, well, they might not get edge rush until later on in the round, and they might be looking for a left tackle because they haven't signed a left tackle, right? And then you sign Mack, or you get Alex Mack, but you don't sign a right guard. So, you might be looking they might have a guy that fits the scheme in college or something like that. Same thing for cornerback and, et cetera. So, it's going to be a domino effect, and, this is going to be a good offseason because, like I've been saying, NFC has never been wide open. If you take this 49ers team that played the Chiefs last year and they played the same Chiefs, but with Mahomes having turf toe and, the tackle, there's no way they wipe the floor with these kids. They will wipe the floor with the Bucs too. I promise you, there's no way in hell that Bucs roster is better than the 49ers roster last year, specifically defense. As far as offense, yeah, they got some good weapons in Godwin, AB, and Evans. But I'm telling you right now, I think if, Brady, I think Bosa would have a field day with either offense that both played in the Super Bowl this year. There's no doubt. But the Bucs aren't looking as dominant as it was looking last year with the 49ers and Packers.
Yeah.
Right. But the same thing though. Like Packers don't look as dominant. I mean, you got their stuff going on. Seattle's not dominant. Like there's no dominant team. And what I'm saying is like the NFC has never been more wide open. It doesn't matter who we're playing in the AFC, Ronbo. As long as we get that chance to be in the Super Bowl, you never know what could happen, right? Yeah. So I mean, and before everybody came down with the what the sports betting, they had the Chiefs as huge favorites to win the Super Bowl until and then Tom Brady put it on them. And, they did what they do. So, like I said, it's going to be fun. I trust the front office. I know you trust Kyle. I know you trust John. So we'll just have to sit back and watch and just look at the fireworks, Ronbo. All right?
And I tell you, Shay, looking at what we just saw in that Super Bowl, look for the 49ers
Absolutely.
to get real crazy defensively.
Yeah,
I got a
absolutely.
feeling we're going to see draft. We're going to say, wow, the 49ers in the 6th round, we got 2 offensive players, Kyle?
Right.
I can feel it
Oh,
coming
Ronbo.
already, you know?
I can feel it coming too, Ronbo.
Yeah.
But all right, Ronbo, thank you for the platform again,
Hey.
brother. You are the best in the business. Thank you for giving us
Too much.
49ers fans
Thanks.
a home. I know Eddie Ramirez ain't here. Ain't no Seattle people here.
I
It feels
know, I'm
good
really,
to finally
I'm,
have just
I'm
all 49ers
feeling some
chat, right?
hurt. I
Like,
know, but I
you
like to
know-
see those guys. They deserve to come in here and get a
Oh,
whooping.
yeah. Rudy, all those losers. But all right, Ronbo, thank you. Shout out to my
Shay.
TP brothers. And who they are. Ronbo, God bless you, sir, and have a good night.
Thanks, Shay. Looking forward to hearing from you. Maybe tomorrow. Let's see what happens or else this weekend. Thanks, Shay. Have a good night. And Jesus.
Rombo!
Hey, Zeus,
Man, what happened
man.
to Monday Night Rombo?
I know, but you know, because I got tied up yesterday. I had to be an adult yesterday and got caught up in responsibilities. I couldn't believe it. The clock ticked out. I said, "Oh man, come on, man!" You know, I started whining like a 5-year-old. I couldn't get away. So I said, "All right, Tuesday night SmackDown, back." So,
SmackDown, let's get it.
hey, Jesus, man. I mean, you know, I keep wondering. I keep looking at the roster, and Tony even did a spreadsheet. We probably all are gonna pick off guys that are. It's real. They really are leaving. Or these dates. You have the free agency period, and then you have June 1st. Jesus, between those 2 dates, you need to be careful. You might be able to get rid of the right guy, and you might be able to pick up the right guy on June 1st. But everybody in the league's gonna be competing for that. So if you're gonna cut fat now, Jesus, you can think about that. Go ahead, hey, holler at your boys, and then get on about that.
All right, I'd like to give a shout out to my brother Eddie E. And I'd like to give a shout out to Josh One, the homie for Kobe,
Eddie.
Tag Garrison, Horancho Flores, Tommy H, Ray Jr., all the homies up in here. You know, I'd like to give a shout out to all my people, all the Niner fans up in here. You know, they know Patrick, my homeboy. They know Eddie Ramirez. You know, Seahawks
PB.
Rain, Joseph Smiley. And all them fools are a bunch of broke ass bums. I'm a granddaddy daughter, bro. Let me tell you. You know, they ain't messing with us because they know that that they're gonna say the same thing that we said last year, but really it was really rigged last year.
See, and they can't even come back here on a friendly basis, Jesus. So because the thing is, they've already said too much. They come in here and dwell, and my homeboy and all them talking major trash, and see, this is why you got to know, it's gonna come back around to bite you in the ass.
Oh, you know, the 49er fans are just a bunch of scrubs.
Yeah.
They're going to make fun of us just because they lost the Super Bowl. We got killed 22 points. Mahomes didn't even score a touchdown.
Yeah.
You know, we only put up 9 points.
Not even double digits. 4 quarters. Not even double digits. God.
Oh, come on. You guys are all delusional. You guys wanted the Chiefs to lose.
Definitely did.
You know?
And
Oh,
loved
you
how they
damn-
got
you
called
damn know
for
we did.
holding. Oh, that was fun. Yes, over and over and over. Over 100 yards in penalties. And most of them were for holding. So he's trying to tell you refs last year. Anyway, it's too late. They got it. Okay, fine. That day is over. And we know how to beat them now. Hey, Jesus, you and I could set up a defense now to stop the... Are you watching closely what they did? Mahomes was honest. You got to have front guys like Nick Bosa, though. But still, man, they're gonna have a hard time
Rumble, the
next
49ers
year.
put out the blueprint. The
I know.
49ers put out the blueprint for us to beat, for all the teams to beat the Chiefs last year's Super Bowl.
Held them for 3 quarters.
We did it. You know, 3 quarters. Obviously, you know the play calling at the end. You know, obviously the play calling at the end. But all I got to say, you know, we did it with Boza. You know, we did it with D4. We did it with Eric Armstead, Buckner. You know, we did it with all our people. And all I got to say is that our secondary just gave up the big plays. But all I got to say, we had Mahomes on his ass. You know, it was just the referees that weren't calling the holding.
And it's a good thing for Mahomes and company they did. Because last year, we win that one, too. Oh, going away.
Oh,
They would not got the
if
ball
he takes
down.
it 2 years in a row.
Yeah, damn. You know that's all right. We'll find them. But anyway, hey, Sus, before we run out of time though, who are you getting rid of, or who are you keeping? Put it that
Who are
way.
we
That's
getting
gonna be
rid of?
easier. Yeah, who you gonna keep?
I want to keep Trent Williams. You don't let arguably the top 5 best left tackle in the league leave like that. Hell no.
Try not to.
Left tackle is one of the best, is one of the most important positions in the game, and people forget about that because they protect the blind side.
Yep.
You got to keep Trent Williams, and a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, this is not Madden, the salary cap." There's ways to go around it, man. Like you could sign him to a 1-year deal and give him a pretty good signing bonus. I don't even know how that works, you know? Like
Yeah. And maybe why John Lynch is so confident, because he knows guys cannot go out and find all kind of places all over the league. So you give him that 1-year deal with a huge year coming up. And then he said, what if I get hurt this year? We got that covered, babe. Hey, look, see this sign right here. It's an insurance policy. Because you already got this done. You got this done. You're good.
you know what I'm saying? All right, Ronbo, well, I'll let you get on to the next call. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, I understand. And you know what? Next year, I'll give you 49ers another shot. Come back and get us again. I got tough toe, so I might be out for the first 3 or 4 months, so we'll probably get a wild card spot neect year. Hopefully you guys have a better year, because you guys really sucked last year.
We're going to get a Super Bowl curse. We're going to have the Super Bowl hangover.
All right, Ronbo, you have a blessed night, my brother.
You too, Jesus. Night, fam.
All right, have a good
Night, fam. Mr. Blockeye says, question, Alden Smith, do you think he could be a good addition on RD? You won't find many people that would love to have that, because I think he's turned the corner on his vices, maybe, at least enough to avoid testing. He says, I mean, after all he does owe us, God, he does, and IMO, he will help us, plus for a good price, probably. I don't know how he feels about Jed, though. Mr. Black Eyes, thanks for that contribution, too. I'd love to see him at opposite mid. I bet he'd get fired up and play some serious ball. Hey, Rick.
What's good, man?
Rick, man, I'm just saying, Rick, I want to apologize for hollering at you last time.
Man, I understand. Man, we're 49er fans. We get passionate about the 49ers. I apologize.
Yeah, but I probably got carried away. But anyway,
no,
yeah.
Man, it's fine. I would say, man, to cut to the chase, man, like most said, I think, obviously, I think we can try to cut D Ford and Western Richburg. And I think on both of those, we will probably wait until June 1st, because that's it'll be the less cap hit for us, as well as impact, I should say. And the same thing, we'll start looking at other teams, because looking like at the Saints, I think they're almost $70 million over the cap, or something like that.
Phil said 80. Well, how do you have a team
they're
left?
crazy.
What were they overpaying everybody?
They're crazy.
Damn.
No, I mean you just paid you have a lot of high price contracts and stuff like that. So I really think this year we may do a mixture as far as with the draft, mixture of maybe some our team. We may look into Alex Mack and maybe somebody else from like the Saints as far as on the O-line, whatever, and mixture with drafting, whatever. But I think this year, because of the cap situation, and so many teams are over the cap by so much, and they have to get things down by June 1st so it can lessen the impact on the cap. That's when you'll see probably the most impact on the team. For sure, I definitely know for sure D Ford and Western Richburg are gone. I like DJ Jones. I'm not sure if we'll retain him. Obviously, Richard Sherman, he's gone. One I want to keep, I would like for us to keep Juice. And the only reason why I say that, because I don't think he will command a big salary, because a lot of teams nowadays, they don't utilize the fullback, and they sure don't utilize them the way we do. I mean, so I mean, if push comes to shove, we could possibly franchise tag him, because they're not making any of the fullbacks. They're not making what we're paying Juice right now. You may not like it.
We set that standard.
That's
That's true. Yeah. I forgot about that.
Because we're not franchising anybody. I know we probably lose Kaijuan, but if we can extend the player I'm looking for, and I would love for us to obviously keep Verrette. But if there was some way for us to get Malik Hooker, and Marshawn Lattimore more from the Saints, oh my gosh, we would
solid players.
So a solid player, or even Quentin Dunbar from Seattle.
Yeah,
because at that point we take a play away from them.
He doesn't get as much love as he should. Quentin's not bad.
No.
Well, hey, is Hooker? Is he on Lattimore and Hooker? Aren't they in their last year of their rookie contract?
No, I think Marshawn is a little bit. I think Marshawn definitely would be more of just a June cut type of situation. I think he got signed. I think he was like I think it's always like $11 million or something like that.
Oh, so he's past his rookie contract. That must be a new contract, or is he? He was a first round pick though. That's first round money.
Yeah. He was because matter of fact, he came in I think 2017. He was in that same draft class with Solomon.
So this is Thomas. So 5th-year option. Yeah. Okay. There's one more year.
Yeah. Good thing, man. I was just so happy to switch to the Super Bowl. I was just so happy to show that even though I will say this, look, Patrick Mahomes, he made at least 2 amazing throws that were just like
dropped,
stupid, ridiculous. Yeah, they were dropped. It hit the guys in the face, whatever. But I mean, outside of that, just to hear someone that complaining, I said I don't want to hear any of that because I mean, trust me, if we would have got some of those calls, if we would have got especially some of the holding calls or non-holding calls that we didn't get, or that offensive PI that they called on George Kittle. At the end of the first half, it was like, come on. But I mean, just to see them, because I'm calling it right now, Ronbo. I'm gonna put my name on the line right now. I don't think they're gonna be back like everybody thinks, because we've seen the same kind of thing happen before. Remember back when the greatest show on turf, everybody just, oh man, you cannot beat them. You can't beat them. Yeah, you got Marshall Falk. You know, you got either Bruce and the other receivers. And they were scoring at will. And once they lost, it's not that they didn't continue to make the playoffs, but they no longer have the same thing. And I think now it's the blueprint is now. If you take away Tyreek Hill and make it say, okay, you know what I'm saying? Look, I don't care. You can have Travis Kelce, because Travis Kelce, although he's good, he's not a field stretcher, not like that. You can't just take the ball, a 5-yard catch, and take it 90 yards, whatever. It's nothing like that.
But no matter what, you take Kelce away from him. And
you take Kelce away. If you take Kelce away, then it changes up everything, because of Pat Mahomes, he doesn't know how to just methodically go down the field with just little dink and dunks. He's looking for the big play because he has a big arm. And I bet you next year everybody's going to start playing that same defense on him.
Rick, that's such a good, because you know what? When Patrick was doing them RPOs and insisted on throwing the ball, he shot himself in the foot. I saw that a few times. As Patrick, you ain't got to throw on every play, man. You did. And watch you guys run Hilaire more.
You don't. I mean, he threw the ball. I think he passed it like for 50 times or something like that, and that typically is not a winning formula. And so the thing about it was, next year, man, I would just love to play them again. God, I would love to play them again. I would love to play them. I would love to play them again.
Let's see who's left on our team. We may be just as strong. Rick, we're out of time, though. I may be back tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll see you Friday, okay?
Absolutely. A Niner Faithful, Niner Empire, look, revenge tour. Hey, if Jimmy Jesus do, that's what we're rolling with. As long as we get a line in front of him, so we can do what we do. And this year, look, all I want besides the offensive line, I want somebody in Kyle Shanahan's ear, whether it's Mike Daniels or whoever, it says, look, run the ball. We got the lead, run the ball. Because, look, you've done it twice now. In Atlanta, when you had the lead, you kept passing the ball. In our game, in our Super Bowl, we had the lead. Run the ball. Run the ball, eat up clock, keep the deep team off the field, and we'll win the Super Bowl. It doesn't matter. We all win as a team.
There you go.
So look, that's all I want this year. Hey man, Niner Empire, Niner Faithful, y'all have a good evening, man. talk to you either tomorrow or Friday.
All right, man. Good night, Rick.
All right. Good night, man.
Wait a minute. Let me put my gloves on. It's Niner Mike. Mike's probably civilized tonight anyway. Mike, forget about it. It's Niner Mike.
Hey, Ronbo. Hey, listen, Ronbo. I
Yes.
don't take too kindly to being just cut off, Ronbo. You got to talk over there to the production staff. I don't want to have to get names on papers, Ronbo. All right, come on now.
Oh,
Don't be cutting off Niner Mike. That's not nice. That's a fresh thing to do, Ronbo. You know what I mean? That's what my
Mike,
grandmother
but
used
Mike-
to say. Don't be fresh.
French?
Don't be fresh.
French
Don't
are
be
rude,
fresh.
aren't they? If you're French, we're
No,
kidding.
not
Mike
French.
may be serious, but
Not
I'm joking.
French, Ronbo. Not French, Ronbo. Fresh. Don't be fresh.
Oh, I thought you said French.
All right? Yeah, no, don't be fresh. Anyway, listen, how the hell are you, Ronbo? You doing all right over there? What do you how's it hanging this Tuesday?
Mainly to the left. But you know, Mike, okay, we run out of time, though. I'm probably not going to let you. They're not going to let us go on and on. So you got to keep it down to a certain amount of time, okay? I'm begging you.
All right, no worries.
All right.
No worries, Ronbo. No worries. I thought you ran away from me. I was waiting patiently last night. I thought maybe you ran away if you got off the wrong on-ramp or something over there, on the freeway. You didn't want to get home. You didn't want to get on the mic and not. I didn't know what was going on, Ronbo. But listen.
Long story, yeah. Go ahead.
And I don't know. I heard you talking earlier. I heard you saying Niner Mike, but I don't know if someone typed something or whatnot. Niner Mike doesn't type anything. All right, I talk.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
So if anyone's writing stuff on there under my name, that's a fake. That's a fake Niner Mike. I don't know nothing about that. All right, so let's get that out of the way. Anyway, I want to get back to my point, Ronbo. I didn't forget my point. I was talking to you about. You remember my point?
Well, it's probably along the lines of yeah.
You forgot my friggin' point. All right, let me remind you. All right, I asked you if you was more interested in getting the 6th ring, or if you was interested in competing for more championships year in and year out like we used to.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's what I asked you, and you said you didn't care. You just wanted us to do good next season. But listen, my point was when I was talking about the Mahomes kid. All right. The point was this: whether he lost last year or he lost this year, whatever. Here's the point: in 3 years, the kid has made it to 2 Super Bowls and 3 AFC Championship games, and he would have went to 3 Super Bowls, but Brady beat him in his first AFC Championship game. So now this is the second time Brady's beaten him. All right, in a big stage type situation. But the point is this: the kid's in all these games, Ronbo. All right, he's giving them a shot every year. And for all the people out there that don't understand what a franchise quarterback does to a team, it's exactly that. All right, think about it like this: how many years are the Packers in it? Whether or not they got a shitty defense, whether or not they got a shitty offensive line, whether or not they got 1 or 2 receivers for Aaron to throw to. All right, the point is they got 10 wins every year, and they're in the tournament every year. That's all you could ask.
Mike, can I answer that question? Was that a question? Can I answer about the Packers?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I want to hear it, but go ahead.
Yeah, 2 years ago, 2017, I believe, 2018, the Packers crashed and burned due to bringing in a bunch of newbies and getting rid of all their stars. So they were like 7-9, and I believe.
All right, but how many years have they been in the playoffs over the last decade, Ronbo?
Wow, yeah, that goes without saying.
They're in the playoffs every year. Now, look, you can't control what happens.
Rodgers
I
has
can't
been
control
there.
what
Wait
the
a minute.
hell they
I just
doing
want to say
over
one
there.
more thing, though.
But
Rodgers has been there for how many years?
since 2005.
Okay.
Or whatever
This
that
why-
is. What,
Mike,
15 years
my,
he's
my,
been over
my
there?
whole point of asking that question was this, though. Why can't Garoppolo at least be given a few minutes before he kicks the curb?
And I'm glad you brought that up because, you know what, here's another thing that I would really like for you to kind of correct. You know, you always tell people and you always say, hey, people think they got it all figured out after Jimmy played one season. You know, hey, listen, whose friggin' fault is that? We did not dress him up for 4 friggin' years. All right, we did not put him out there. So call it like it is. Jimmy only completed one of the 3 friggin' seasons we dressed him up for. That's not our fault. That's also part of the reason why so many people got problems with him. You know what I mean, Ronbo? That's why people say what they say about him. So when you say that, you got to call it accurately. Don't just say, oh, well, you only seen him play for 1 season, so you can't make an adjustment off that. No, how about we only seen him complete 1 friggin' season out of 4 years or 3 years, whatever the hell it is, all right? And he only completed 1 16-game season. And then when we got to the Super Bowl and we needed our highest-paid player to make the best plays, he blew it out of his ass, Ronbo. That's what he did. He blew it out of his friggin' ass. And it showed last night. You talk about, oh, well, he didn't have all these weapons. Listen, all the weapons that everyone talked about Brady happened, and what happened? You had Tom Brady throwing it to friggin' old-ass Rob. I just came out of retirement, Gronkowski, all right? And they're out there throwing like they're 2 kids playing in a friggin' backyard, for Christ's sake. And they're beating arguably the best team throughout the entire season on the biggest stage, Ronbo, on the biggest stage. And you can't deny that the one thing that both of them teams got in common is they both got franchise quarterbacks.
One question. Are you telling me Rob Gronkowski is not one of the best tight ends of all time?
No, what I'm telling you is that at the end of the day, when freaking Tom Brady needed to hit Rob Gronkowski wasn't running wide open over the middle of the field, throwing his freaking hands up to the sideline, going, what the hell's going on? Because that's exactly what happened in our Super Bowl. George Kittle ran over the middle multiple times,
Mike,
and for whatever reason, he didn't get the ball, and he's looking at Kyle with his arms in the air like, what the hell's going on? What are we doing here?
Didn't Mahomes' situation look a little bit more like what Jimmy was going through in that game? Did you know that?
No, it didn't look like that. Get the hell out of here.
Let me just finish.
Mahomes threw a better pass when he was flying through the air, parallel with the ground.
Mike,
Jimmy G threw with his eyes closed when he just threw up a blind Hail Mary with his friggin' eyes closed.
I got it. Mike, I'm talking about this.
Oh,
Brady's uniform, Mike. I want to see if you say this is yes or no.
Yeah, it was cocaine white.
Brady's uniform, Mike. Brady's uniform was as clean at the end of the game as it was at the beginning of the game. Why? He was under no frigging pressure all game long. Mike, you and I can go out there and quarterback that. It's absolutely true.
Listen,
Mike, we're going to run out of time.
Here's part of it.
Mike,
here's part of it, all right?
No, Mike, we haven't got time.
Here's part of it.
Mike, we haven't got time.
Ronbo,
I'm just saying.
Sack a guy that gets rid of the ball in less than 2.5 seconds. That's why his jersey's clean. Remember that. All right? Remember that. You're not going to sack. Go ask Joey Bosa. Go look at the mic'd up clip when Joey Bosa was having his Pro Bowl year, and he said, I just can't get to him. I just can't touch him. He even went over and asked Tom Brady in between plays to hold on to the ball
I'm
for
tell you,
just a
Mike,
little bit longer.
You're never going to see it any other way. But if Jimmy gets his time that Tom Brady does, I guarantee you that he'll cut our defense up. And that day, when that day comes, I'm going to be waiting for you, Mike. I'm going to be waiting for you. Mike, you know Jimmy's got time? Do you see what he's doing out there? I'm going to let you know it, and I'll let you know big time. You're going to say, yeah, I see it now.
Well, at this rate, we're going to have to wait 8 friggin' years to get 2 full seasons out of Jimmy G, Ronbo. All right? That's all I'm saying. So why don't you call him up and you work that out so we can get a better
argue about that.
size, all right?
Righty, all right. Good night, Mike.
All right, Ronbo. Hey, listen, you take it easy. You have a good night. Tell the production I appreciate them not cutting me off, all right? Thank you. That's respect over there, all right? I appreciate it. You have a good night, Ronbo. I'll talk to you Thursday or Friday. When you coming back?
It's tomorrow if there's anything good. All right.
All right, well, it's going to be to be continued, Ronbo. All right, good night, Ronbo.
Be delighted.
All right.
Love you, man. Have a good night.
All right, love you too, Ronbo. Have a good night over there.
Okay. Hey. 408 Killer Shark 1. I think Larry White made Eddie sleep with the fishes. I am worried about Eddie. Eddie, you got to come back here, man. We're waiting for you. We're used to you talking crazy for the entire time. Steven!
What's up, Ronbo?
Steven, man, just in here having a good time. we were supposed to be talking about who we're cutting, but when Mike comes, it's always going to have to be about Jimmy. I got to bookmark it. When Mike comes, get ready to argue and fight about Jimmy. But, Steven, actually what I was trying to do was
That's what
see.
keeps the ratings up right there.
It's-
You versus Lion Mike on the
it's
daily.
fun.
That's what keeps it,
Hey, but I'll tell you what, Steven. But I'm wondering, it's a scary thing wondering who we're not going to see in a 49er uniform next year. What are you thinking?
So I kind of gave you like a rough list on Sunday about who we're keeping and who we're not. Out of the entire list, like I said, I'll start from the bottom again. And these are going with the first three that I know that are already signed, which is Webster, Ken Webster, Josh Rosen, Jeff Wilson Jr. So they're already with us. Kaijuan. Now these are the ones that are unsigned that I want to see back that are probably going to see it back. Goes Kaijuan, Ross Dwelly, DJ Jones, Spoon, Jordan Reed, Kerry Hyder, KB, Juice, and then, if at all possible, if we get rid of some players and there's enough cap space, Trent Williams. So,
Man, Trent Williams
it seems
is
like a
scaring
far
everybody.
shot because he wants so much money, and it's like, man, I know you're worth value, but knowing Trent Williams and knowing how this is going to go down, I guarantee you he's going to hold out on the 49ers because the 49ers are going to say, hey, you know what, we can only offer you this much, but here's an incentive package. He's going to say, no, I don't want that. This is what I want. And here we go with this whole little stalemate dance. And I guarantee you by the end of the year, or by June, I should say, by June, going into the next season, people are going to look at him and they're going to be like, do we really want him? It's too much. We don't really afford that.
Does he have he doesn't have a no trade clause, does he? Because we don't have a contract. Well, we do. No, we haven't done a deal with him. Does he have a no trade clause? I mean, if he goes to that extent, he can't just sit out because we can't do that. I don't think he'd be that hard. I think our people can actually work with him in a way where he'll know that that's not in his best interest or ours.
Yeah, so he is a unrestricted free agent. So yeah, he can.
Yeah, so he can do whatever he wants. So if he doesn't agree with the deal, he can just leave, right? So he's not. I'm saying when you said sit out, I can't imagine him sitting out because we don't have a deal with him yet. So he would just walk on us, and we'd end up nothing, and he'd go right over to Seattle, where they would find a way to pay him because they need an offensive line worse than anybody in the league. As Russell Wilson's already said, he's had about enough of getting sacked. I think Russell's been down over 300 times, 300 something
you know
crazy.
What's funny, Ronbo? Is I heard this crazy rumor. I don't know if it's true. You could probably correct me on it. But I heard after the 49ers, after the Super Bowl, after the 49ers, my bad, after the Super Bowl, Russell Wilson requested a trade. So I don't know if that's true or not.
I saw him doing an interview today. The interviewer said, "Yeah, that is if you're still going to play in Seattle." Well, I don't know about that, but like the whole world stopped. What? If there's
what would you say?
There's only like 10 quarterbacks in the NFL, 10 or 11 quarterbacks that are assured of being back in whatever position they're in right now. You know, so yeah.
And you know what, Ronbo? If he walks or if he requests a trade, Pete Carroll and that team are done.
Finished.
That's it. There's no more done. Seattle. And, with Tom Brady staying for probably arguably another year, probably 2 more years with the Buccaneers, that makes the NFC the hardest division in the entire NFL because not only do we have Tom Brady, we possibly might have Russell Wilson. We have Kyler Murray and D-Hop. We have Aaron Rodgers. We have Jimmy G, and hopefully if he stays healthy, all the weapons we do have. And then who else? Possibly the Rams? I don't know. But that we have an entire stacked lineup of just straight gunners, back to back to back to back to back. And so that's going to kind of set the mood. That's going to set the tune for next year. It's going to be an NFC run NFL like game from the start.
But it's funny how the AFC has won more Super Bowls in the last decade. I guess that's mainly
they've
because
won more.
and that's mainly because of Tom and
Yeah.
the Patriots.
No, easily. That's because of Tom. It's
Yeah.
because of Tom and because of the stuff that Mike Tomlin and Roethlisberger did. Only reason why is
and then there's
because
them.
the Steelers and the
Exactly.
Patriots.
Yeah.
And outside of that, Ronbo, it's gonna. If I don't see the AFC doing anything better outside of Mahomes or what's his name, the dude from Buffalo.
Yeah, Josh Allen. Okay, you know what? I need to see Josh Allen do that again. All of a sudden he got really good because of Stephon Diggs. This is the thing.
Exactly.
When people don't, this is why when I get mad when people start yelling and screaming about how great everybody else is and Jimmy ain't. Well, hell, look what Jimmy's working with. And look at the offensive system he's in. He's having to learn. You know, that's what I'm saying. It's not, well, let me see what he looks like. And then I'll go along with the Hate Jimmy Club. But I want to see what it'll look like next year with 3 seriously legitimate weapons now. Now I want to see.
I'll put it like this, Rumble. KC's offensive line looked scarily similar to the 49ers offensive line when everybody got injured after MetLife. After the second coming of MetLife, that's exactly what our offensive line looked like. Paper. They literally just stood there and watched everyone run them over. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that out there right now. With a healthy lineup, healthy O-line, we'll be able to steamroll through teams. Mind you, like I said, the NFC is going to be tough. We have Washington, we have Green Bay, we have New Orleans,
and
Tampa Bay,
and maybe
Seattle,
not, but New Orleans has got too much money. Steve, we got to stop though. Let's get. I may be back tomorrow or definitely Friday. Okay.
All right, I'll see you.
All right, looking forward to it. Have a nice night, Steve.
You too, Ronbo. Take care.
Thanks, man. Yeah, Rebel D. Rebel D points out what I did. I don't know why nobody, except a handful of us, noticed that. Jimmy never had weapons and never had a damn O-line. Well, his O-line wasn't real bad, but Jimmy, I'm dying to know what he looks like. As I said, I'm serious. Anybody who's watching that game seen Tom Brady was under no stress. He got sacked one time. Tom had it made yesterday. Hey, Dion!
Ronbo, what's going on, brother?
We're looking at the guys that may no longer be answering their name during roll call next year when the 49ers get back to Santa Clara. You know, I do. It's going to be scary between now and June 1st. And you've heard about the 2 dates, which I wasn't aware of. There's going to be a date coming up soon. And then there's going to be that June 1st date. If you can hold out until then, there may be players coming and going that you might be able to pick up on. And this year, D, you know what? It's more attractive, that aspect, due to the fact that a lot of teams, like you look at the Saints, how do you get $80 million over the cap? How in the hell did that happen? And there's other teams too. And I can't imagine with that, well, they got 1-year contracts with the Bucks. That's a Pro Bowl team from top to bottom. You can keep all those guys? D, what are your feelings on these things? What we gonna do?
I mean, for us, we'll keep a select few of guys. We are gonna unfortunately have to let some guys walk that we don't want to, but it's just due to the fact that we just don't have the money. They haven't cut D Ford yet. They haven't cut Weston Richburg. They didn't get rid of Jimmy's contract. Like, there's people that they can, either cut or restructure to be able to get it. At this point, D Ford ain't gonna restructure. He's just gonna let them cut him. And Richburg, they should cut him because that'll free up like a lot of money. So the issue is just figuring out where the money's gonna come from. I did see something today that did say they are opening Levi's Stadium as a site for you to get the vaccination for coronavirus.
Yeah, they held a press conference about that. Wow.
Yeah, so hopefully what that can do is win us some peace with the city council after this mess that Jed Yorton created. So hopefully that gives us a little bit of leeway so they start to say, okay, well, we opened it, by the time training camp and everything comes around, you guys can do what you need to do and, go that route.
Good point.
But I feel like it's going to be a situation where, we'll have to hope and pray that they can keep as many people as they can. But it's just all about bread right now. we're anticipating 175, but hopefully it's more like 195. If that's the case, it'll open up some more space. But I'd love to get back, guys that we need, and at least make sure that we get back guys that, are going to contribute to us. There are going to be some dudes that go with Salah. That's a guarantee because the Jets have a ton of cap space.
Yep.
They got money upon money upon money. So
if you get into a bidding war, you're definitely going to lose. Exactly.
Oh yeah, and you don't know which way to go. It's gonna be crazy, man. So I don't know. I'm gonna definitely try my best. I've been looking at it, trying my best to figure out who would go. I mean, we got about 14 guys out of all those free agents that we should actually keep. But it all depends on, what the situation is. So I don't know. It's a little frustrating.
It's fun watching John Lynch sit around smiling and talking confidently like, yeah, well, no, we'll be fine. Anything over 175 is gravy. What? Really?
Yeah.
Unless, like you said, it does go around at 185 to 190. It'd be nice if they go at least minimum 185.
Yeah, at the bare minimum. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully we get that, get the salary cap in order, and we can have Parag work some magic with these contracts. Hopefully people are willing to take a little bit of a hometown discount to be able to stay and let them know we'll get them on the back end and the following year when all this crap is gone. It's just, that's all we can do right now. I'd love to keep guys like Kaijuan and probably Ronald Blair, keep a E-Man Mosley, keep a Jason Verrette, keep Trent Williams, guys like that. That's what we could do. Because if you cut Weston Richburg and you don't want him back, Alex Mack has already said that he would love to come and play with Kyle.
That's a nice thing, though, D. A lot of players would love to play for Kyle. So players coming over is not a big thing. It's what do they want? How much can we give them?
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yeah, it's this year. It's going to be everything will be tight. So it's just basically a situation where everybody has to understand if you're going to be here with us, you're going to have to know that this year money going to be a little tight. So we're going to get you on the back end, but other than that, I think we should still be okay. I've seen we had a few guys, and I heard you talking about the safety position earlier. If Kwaski's gone, why don't you just go ahead and put Jared Maiden in there? Why don't you go ahead and let Carveri Moore start? Like, you have guys to try to fill Kwaski's spot because you're not going to re-sign him because he's going to want money. And him being healthy, he'll garner a nice little bit of change on the free agent market, but nothing like what we could give him, and then at the same time, we've dealt with him throughout all the injuries, all those years.
And we looked good toward the end of the season, and Kwaski wasn't home. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that, because that's wow. And Jared Maiden, I know he's ready.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You have Maiden, you got Moore, you got people that can take this dude's spot and keep on pushing. So it's not like we're struggling without him.
And with that speed we're talking about with Moore, him and Farley, I have dreams about watching them patrol the back end. If Tyreek thought he was under pressure yesterday, he ain't seen nothing. Don't let us get Farley and T. Moore back there. Both of them running 4 threes. Oh, D. There we go. Hey, he's at Swift D over on Twitter, Instagram, 49er_Dion. And that's Dion does the Niner Gang podcast too. D, man, I'm telling you what, you got time. I'm going to see tomorrow. Maybe. I'll see if anything breaks. Because it's quiet on the front now,
It is for the moment. Hopefully something does break where we can figure out what's happening. But appreciate the platform. Appreciate what you do, Ronbo.
Thanks,
and I know all of us 49er fans are smiling to see how the Chiefs got beat up. And knowing that we made Pat Mahomes, they made Pat Mahomes look like a mortal instead of a god.
That's what I'm talking about.
Have a good night, Ronbo.
Mad.
Right.
All right, fam. I'll see you shortly. All right, D. Have a good night. Yeah. I wasn't going to say anything bad about his mom, though, because, I like moms. I ain't saying that to moms. That was funny, though. She tweeted actually to Giselle and let her know she wasn't happy. Why was she hitting up Giselle? Hey, Tamer.
Hey, Ronbo.
Tamer, how are you tonight?
Good. You?
Great. You know, I'm just a little worried. I've felt a little. This is the same feeling you get before you're getting ready to play a team that you know you could potentially get beat. You know, Tamer, when we were 2019, there were only a couple of teams that I worried about. I worried about Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. I worried about the Saints and the Packers the first time. But after that, we beat everybody. So, Tamer, now we're worried about who we're going to keep on this team. I keep wondering, man, who could we not afford to keep? But, Tamer, have you got a list of people you're going to keep on the 49 roster?
No, not very much. I really don't know much about the 49ers. I mean, like...
That's right, Tamer, I forgot. Aren't you a Raven fan?
Yeah.
That's right. I'm sorry. Yeah. Tamer, okay, well, give us a little bit. I mean, the Ravens, Lamar has... By the way, Tamer, this is a good question for you, too. You know, Lamar has failed every year in one way or the other with getting the Ravens to the Super Bowl. Are fans ready to ship him out already?
I mean, some are, but some aren't. But also, I mean, a little bit, because, like, when Ravens lost to the Bills, they showed his stats, and they said that he had more rushing yards, I think, and, like, with a quarterback than any, like, more than, like, I think Michael Vick. They were talking about his stats.
I remember that record. He broke it. Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And so I went to school the next day, and so they were like, what happened to your team? I was like, well, you know, most of my linemen had COVID, like, you know, and, like, Lamar didn't have very much protection. And I mean, and everyone at my schools are like Chiefs fans. So I was like, well, you lost to the Super Bowl, and I don't think any of your linemen were blocking well because I think two of the guards weren't there.
Yeah, tackles.
Or like they were, but yeah, something was wrong with them. And then I was like, well, I had the same excuse. So I mean, you can't start looking at me. And then they were like, well, it was our lineman. I said that like last week about the Bills and the Ravens, and you guys said it was an excuse. So I guess it's my turn now. It's an excuse for you losing.
No matter where you are in NFL, people don't want to hear your reason, but let them have the same thing happen. They can't hear you. So, you know, we all go through the same thing. I do wonder, though, if Jackson, this is his third year. He tears up records every year, but they've got to get through the playoffs, at least to the AFC Championship game, or else you're going to hear this. Jimmy's getting flack for going all the way to the Super Bowl one time, and people hate him like you wouldn't believe. He had to go in there, and he had to win it, or else get him out of here. So I'm thinking Jackson's probably going to get a little more time, though, because there was a good reason for him to fail in that case. So.
Yeah. And, like, I think Lamar will have he'll stay at the Ravens for a little bit for how Harbaugh feels with him. I mean, what Harbaugh really needs to teach him more is on passing because he's not very long. He's not very good at passing and stuff. He's more of like a rushing quarterback.
Yeah, he's strictly RPO guy. You know, and you got Frank over there. I don't know. He was working with Cap, and we already went through him. Roman is okay what he does, but after a while, everybody gets used to it. It's pretty much what the quarterback can do. It's not so much what Greg is doing. It's the quarterback's talent. So you guys are gonna get tired of Roman at some point, but I think he's the best coach for Lamar. So it's pretty funny. But anyway, well, Tamer, always great to hear from you. I mean, dropping in like that. You're not a jerk or a wise guy, so you know I welcome you at any time. All right, good luck. Okay, Tamer. Okay. Hey,
yeah, I'm still here.
We're gonna go. Let me see you next time, okay?
All right. Good night, Rambo.
Good night. Hey, Dustin.
Yo, what's good, Ronbo?
It sounded like somebody's talking to a megaphone. Was that you, Dustin? Dustin.
I don't know. Maybe I was had to get my mic right first.
Anyway, Dustin, man, it's time to say goodbye to some of the players we've learned to enjoy. I got a feeling. I really don't want to speculate too hard. I hope I'm wrong. I'm listening to everybody else saying some of the players I said were going to have to stay, and maybe they're not. I mean, I look at Kaijuan Williams. I like him a lot because I like knowing that the slot receiver is not going to be very busy on us. DJ Jones.
One thing I do got to say is I highly doubt we're going after Deshaun Watson now.
Nah, Deshaun Watson's price is too big. And also, people need to get over Deshaun Watson. Everybody needs to get over Deshaun Watson. The Texans are not allowing him to leave. He can sit down and stick his lips out on the corner and not put on his uniform.
Well, I mean, if he does hold out, they might as well get rid of him because it's gonna just drag along. But yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Just after watching that Super Bowl, you don't need a dude who's gonna freaking run around. Yeah, Tom Brady's special, but like, bro. We had the recipe last year and stuff, and we folded. So, I mean, to say we can't go back with Jimmy is just, like, ridiculous.
Yeah, I was impressed with the Bucs. I mean, actually, the Bucs offensive line, Tom could have hung that uniform back up in his locker and use it next year. He didn't get it dirty. He didn't sweat. He didn't do jack. It was easy. And that's why when Mike calls and says, he's got this old Gronk. Old Gronk was out there blocking and destroying.
Gronk looks better now than he did then. He looks lighter. He looks
healthier,
stronger, actually, too.
No concussions. He was out there blocking. He was doing a great job. And then you got Antonio.
He's nice.
Who's doing a great job. You got Fournette, who led the league.
Yo, that whole team
running.
Is a dream. That's like an Olympic team right there.
Dream team.
The receiving core, yeah, it's nice.
And then he has an offensive line doing a good job, too. I didn't realize that, but they just had to gel, Dustin. They were built that way from the beginning, but they were kind of sloppy in the beginning because they didn't know each other. I'm a little concerned if they come back next year together. That's going to be a problem.
Same with the Niners. I don't think everyone's saying, "Oh, we need to get no line." Niners aren't ever going to have a good pass protection. At least with Kyle Shanahan, because he goes after those slimmer type, the athletic type for running. Pass protection is not going to be there. So
it's about getting rid of the ball quickly. Kyle's offensive system is designed. It's usually play action. What you saw Tom do yesterday was pretty much what Kyle likes to do: go play action, short, quick passes. Don't be doing like Mahomes trying to look downfield. You get your butt kicked. That doesn't work in the NFL anymore. You can throw one deep here and there, but if you continue to force that ball downfield, like Russell Wilson, who got killed last year, same thing. Too many times going deep downfield, you're going to get your ass kicked. They're going to get you.
Right.
So,
it's kind of funny, the Russell Wilson talk, too. You don't even know what's up with him. They're talking about trading him. Well, talk, you know what I mean? No one officially said anything, but it's wild, man.
Everybody's talking about it, though, now. Just because he didn't say it.
Yeah, it's freaking funny. So it's so fitting, too. That Super Bowl is priceless, dude. I was smiling so much.
Thank you, refs. God, I enjoyed that.
Right.
Call that holding. Call it.
Man, dude, they're doing the same exact thing to us, if not worse. It was ridiculous, but, at least they finally got paid for it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah. And now they know who they are. Yeah. It's fun watching Tyrann Mathieu
cry. They were the number one holding team throughout the season, at least in 2019. I don't know about last year, but they didn't get called. They didn't call once during the whole playoffs last year. I don't know about this year's stats, but
they were holding probably worse this year. They didn't change.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
How they play.
Why? Stupid. But I don't know. Free agents, for me, I think you got to find a way to get Trent Williams and Verrette. Yeah, those are the main two. But
and after that,
Kaijuan Williams, people are saying bring him back. I think he's kind of expendable. And Jamar Taylor came in to replace him, and he didn't.
Jamar's hurt. You know what? I would.
Yeah, right. But I mean, he could get healed.
I know, but he got hurt so late. Didn't he get hurt in the last couple of weeks of the season? He's not going to be ready to play.
I think it's against the Rams. Second to last game. or something like that. I don't know if we played in second to last, but yeah.
But it was late.
But they're out there, man. Like, they're out there. I don't think K1 like if he's gonna ask for a hefty price, then I'd move on.
Well, he is. You know why? Because he could go over to the Jets.
Yeah. He's gonna go over to Salva. Yeah.
I know, right?
Probably.
We're gonna see like the
whole
49ers
bunch of people
2.0.
are gonna go there. That's gonna be the 49ers 2.0 over there. Yo,
they took all our coaches, or about 3 or 4. How many coaches did he take? At least 3 or 4 that I know of, right off the hand. God, Robert.
Hey, good news for Jimmy G. They got that QB coach back when he first came over.
Yeah,
I forget his name,
Scangarello.
but
Scangarello.
yeah, I guess he likes him. So I mean, hopefully it makes a difference. I don't know. Hopefully.
Yeah. Jimmy's just got to stay upright. All this talk about Jimmy G's a bad quarterback is just beyond belief. You know what?
I mean, no. If anyone says that, they're tripping because I mean, you don't win that many games by being a bad quarterback.
You can't get
it's
lucky
the health
13 times.
Where people are just worried about his health, and that's why.
Yeah, I mean, you can't win 13. You had to have something to do with it. You can't run 13 wins. You just can't do it. So
no.
And if we had drops from those receivers that I'm talking about at the beginning of the year, Jimmy goes over 4,000 yards. It's all yak. Okay, well, you know what? It's a system that requires whoever's quarterbacking to get the ball to the yak men. This is why I get a kicker. It's a simple system. You can scheme it up. You know how it is hard to learn a scheme? I get so tired of the dumb remarks. But anyway, go ahead.
I mean, we solidified our backup too. I mean, Josh Rosen, so that's good.
I know. We'll see how quickly we can comprehend. That's it. We're out of time. We got to go, fam.
All right, man. No worries, man. It's good talking to you.
Stay safe here, fam. I'll see you tomorrow
Take care,
Friday.
Bro.
All right.
Bye. All right, for sure. Peace.
Ellis may be do a children thing. Ellis is such a great dad. That's why we always say, Ellis, go ahead, do what you got to do, come back. All right. Ellis? Ellis, you got to let me know, though. All right, we'll go to Jay.
Yeah, right, Ronbo.
You need
Ronbo, yeah, give me just 10. Yeah, just 10
All right,
minutes,
no problem.
please.
All right, we'll be back. All right.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Hey, Jay.
What's up, Ronbo?
Jay, I always brace myself. Jay's driving that truck, and I know he's trying to get me. Jay, I see you. I know you're going to come and get me. You and Niner Mike tag teaming on a boy. But Jay, tonight, we was trying to let Jimmy alone for a minute and talk about, and ain't nobody cut Jimmy yet. This is pretty funny. But who we keeping, Jay? Niner Mike probably cut Jimmy, though. He didn't get a chance to tell me.
Forget about it.
I'm going to start calling like screaming Stephen A. and screaming Niner Mike.
Hey, he had some points, though, for real, though, But, at the end of the day, you got to have a offensive line. You see how it happened in the Super Bowl.
Mike didn't say anything about an offensive line.
That.
Mike said an elite quarterback.
I'm saying that.
Oh, yeah, well, most people say that. You can't expect the quarterback to function on his horse the whole game,
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been saying the entire time. You got to have an offensive line on the offensive side, and you have to have the defensive line on the defensive side.
The game is won in the trenches, Jay. That's the bottom line.
Yes, right. So, what I would get rid of, I would get rid of D4.
Everybody agrees.
Weston Whitburg.
Everybody agrees.
Everybody
agrees.
Yeah.
Those two guys are number one and number two. We have to wait till June 1st, though. You get rid of them immediately, you still end up owing too much money. You wait till June 1st, and you say goodbye.
Yeah, you have to. There's just too much money on the books to not produce. You know what I'm saying? They're not producing. So why would you spend all that money for players that ain't playing? You paid them to play, and they're not on the field. So, yeah.
And both of them are really good players. That's the only thing, Jay. Both of those guys are really talented. It's really a sad situation. It ain't because they suck, but D is seriously hurt.
They causing too much they costing too much money and they not on the field. That's the issue.
It ain't coming
You
back.
have to be on the field, right? You know what I'm saying? You can't pay a mechanic to sit on the couch and not fixing your car. You know what I mean? You can't just be paying. You know, it just don't work that way. So you know, it don't matter how good the mechanic is, if he can't fix your car and you keep paying him, you know,
you're just throwing water in a hole. But but who are you going to keep? Yeah, okay, you're going to get rid of Richburg and Ford. We all agree. How about Solomon Thomas?
Mullins. I would get rid of Nick Mullins.
Yeah, Mullins and CJ. Mullins may not be able to play next year anyway. I don't know. Well, no, he said his elbow will be okay without surgery. Jay, let me ask you this question too, though. Okay, if they already signed Josh Rosen, now what you need now until Rosen's got to be brought up to speed on this system, you're gonna have to keep either CJ or Nick. Which one would you keep?
I'll keep CJ.
Okay.
I keep CJ just again.
You're muffled again. Your microphone left. Jay?
I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, your microphone muffled out there.
I'll keep CJ. Get rid of Nick. Nick, he turns the ball over too much. I would just get CJ to pretty much get Josh Rosen up to speed. And, I'll try to figure out this offensive line issue. And, I will try to keep Trent Williams, as best way I possibly can. Try to make some I would see if I would, try to talk to some of these players where they can, try to cut back on their deals, like how Mike Evans was saying. A lot of these players, they want their team back. You do what you got to do to make it possible at the end of the day, right? But it's really hard to convince a player to do that if he ain't have it already in his mind set to do that. Yeah. So, Trent Williams, I would want Trent Williams back. And just draft my players. Get rid of Nick Mullins, get rid of D Ford, the same old. And I probably won't keep Solomon T. I probably won't keep him. I'll let him walk.
Yeah, there's a lot of names up and down the roster that, and that practice squad, that entire practice squad is pretty much out of here. So it's gonna be interesting to see.
Right. And
yeah, go ahead.
And Jason Verrette, I keep him. I keep him. Try to keep our corners, most of our corners. But I don't think Richard Sherman's going to be here next year. So we gotta. I would like him to be. He's a great corner. He just don't have the speed no more. He never did. He just played off his wits and his smart.
Oh, Sherm, yeah. No, Sherman only wants to play 2 more years, and he knows he's asking for a lot of money. It's going to be interesting to see where he lands, though. Somebody's going to pick him up, but not for the money he's talking about. Sherm could be back with us because, after he runs around, everybody says, Rich, we love you, man, but listen, we're not going to be able to come up with that kind of money. If you'd like to take this contract, no, that's all right. I'll call you back if I'm, in that area of payment. Because I got a lot of things. Did you hear he was doing an interview, made me laugh so hard. Rich he's got a private masseuse. He's got a lot of things. And Stephen A. Smith said, you know what, brother man, you got what you need. Yeah, you definitely need every dime you can get.
Right. That money goes fast. If you don't pay attention, you know what I'm saying? That money goes fast. Yes.
Well, Jay, we got to go, fam. Hey, let me see you tomorrow or the next day. Yeah, I'm waiting to see what breaks out in the headline. It could be something crazy. All right.
Yes, sir. Appreciate what you do, brother. You have
Thanks,
a good night.
You too. Yeah, you know what? Get that conversation from Sherm, talk about all his needs. No wonder Sherm needs as much money as he does. Sherm has a setup where his life is a life of luxury. So you got to do those things if you're going to stay in the NFL, or you do need a lot of medical-oriented treatment in order to keep you upright. So I can see his point. But then why didn't he make it back from a calf injury? Fly guy. His Rams running around in here, boy, I can't believe it.
Good.
Fly guy.
Chilling.
Fly guy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good.
Fly guy, man, we're talking about mainly there's so many guys we're going to have to get rid of. The question, I'm going to turn it around. Fly guy, who are you keeping on this team?
Okay, first I would start with John Lynch and Kyle is like they don't know what they're really doing. Everybody like them. They like, they picking good players, and of course you're gonna get lucky once in a blue and get a good player, but they don't know what they're doing really, because if you say you don't have money to bring a super, like a talented quarterback, you don't have $50 million, but you willing to pay Jimmy Z 25, Trent Williams 25, they go 50 right there. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
That's how we can link right now. We need a superstar quarterback. Okay, I'm gonna ask you some question right now.
Is it how confident? More money than that?
How confident is you that Mahomes is gonna make it back to the playoff next year?
No, I don't see it. He's gonna miss part of the opening of the season too because of that turf toe operation.
You don't think he's gonna make it back next year?
No.
Wow, I think so. I already know he's gonna make it back.
Wait, understand why I say that though. He's getting an operation tomorrow on his turf toe. How many months is that going to take? Is he going to be ready for opening day? I wonder.
But for the same question, like Aaron Rodgers, you don't think he's gonna make it to the playoff next year?
I don't know about Rodgers. I can't really call that one.
I guarantee you, KC will make it to the playoff. Green Bay will make it to the playoffs. Seahawks will make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, playoffs.
Yeah.
You think Seahawks will make it?
49ers, we all have doubt. Like, is we going to make it to the playoffs? We don't know.
The 49ers have to stay. The 49ers have to stay healthy. The rosters, strength-wise, depending on who they don't.
Other teams, no matter what happened to the other team, they always make it to the playoffs.
They get hurt. That's what I'm telling you. Mahomes and company may not make it. If he can't make
They'll make it, Ronbo. I trust you.
Well,
they're gonna make it to
you can't
the
make it
playoffs.
if you're injured, fly guy. Yeah, that's the way that works.
But we have the money. We just not using it the right way. We have the money.
Fly
Why
guy,
bring Trent Williams to put that Jimmy G?
If you were in control, okay, you get rid of Jimmy G, get rid of Trent Williams. Okay, Trent Williams.
Bring some young guys on the line.
Okay.
Sign a quarterback like.
Wait a minute, stop right there. Stop right there. Right there. Who are you bringing in as your quarterback?
We'll offer Aaron Rodgers a contract, or if he's not available, we get what's his name again from
Texas?
I keep forgetting his name.
What team?
The one that went out.
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson. We can bring somebody in. Money talk.
Fly guy, it's not that easy. Texas has the legal hold there, so you're not going to just take him just because you got money. You got to deal with the Texans.
Yeah,
okay.
But at least, let's say, at least when somebody is available, we make that move. Just like Brady was available, we didn't make that move. I've been said, I'm like, we passing on Brady.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't believe it.
Well, you got to also.
I was suggesting that we even keep both of them, Brady and Jimmy G, and they share time on the field. That's how I was proposing it. He was like, "You crazy, man!"
There's not enough money for both of them. That's the difficulty about dealing with a team in the NFL. You got a certain amount of money you can work with them, and after that, you got to figure something out. So yeah, Tom needed Gronk, AB. These are some of the best guys in the business. He didn't even use any of the Bucks. He used one tight end from the Bucks, but otherwise he went and got his own guys, and that's how they won that Super Bowl offensively. Now the defense is not getting enough credit. That's who won the game. When you can hold Patrick Mahomes and his company, I don't care if they didn't have their the two outside offensive players. When you can hold the Chiefs to 9 points, you're going to beat them.
But really, I'm gonna tell you why the Chiefs lost the game. Really, The Chiefs lost their game because of the refs. The refs been talking about the game since the first half.
And they deserved it.
That's why I was
they
saying the
would have lost
NFL
last year if the refs would have called them calls.
Yeah, that's why I say the NFL needs to have automatic review for those pass interference and holding calls at least in the Super Bowl, because we don't want no bad officiating game in the Super Bowl. Casey lost the game in the first half. So when they was behind and they was in shotgun, that's why I was telling you, when a quarterback is in shotgun, they don't have a chance. They don't have time. And if they behind, that means the defense already know what they're going to do.
Yeah. You know what?
That's what happened.
Flag guy, I got a feeling they fed into the computer what referee crew would work best to make sure or make it difficult for the 49ers to beat the Chiefs last year. Because Flag guy, last year, the 49ers dominated them defensively for 3 quarters. Vil Vinovich all game long. The 49ers were beating them in spite of Vil Vinovich lying the whole game and allowing every holding penalty, everything they didn't even call it. Right?
And then they called everything on us.
And did not call some very flagrant fouls on the court. Jimmy got crashed. That helmet crash. They had to hear that outside the stadium when that guy came up underneath the helmet. Throwing Jimmy into the stands, no flag, and holding downfield, holding the line of scrimmage, no call. If that changes, it's the same score. They lose
the announcer was like, "This is a one-sided call." Like, and the game is getting bored. Like, you keep calling pass interference on KC. I mean, but you're not calling none on Brady. Then like. Yeah. That was a one-sided call. Like
the Bucks knew better than the foul. They just played cleaner, you know.
That was crazy, man.
They just do that. They'll be. But I tell you what.
But the guy that say trade Mullen, he don't know what he's talking about. I'm telling you.
I knew you like Mullins.
They trade Mullen, they done.
We gotta go. I'll see you tomorrow or Friday. Okay.
All right.
All right, man. Night. I knew it was pissing Flag Guy off. Anybody cutting Mullins? It's Josh.
Hey, Ronbo.
Josh. Well, Josh, we're trying to figure out who's going to stay. Josh, I wish we knew more about how they're going to manipulate the funding. See, because when you look at it from where we're looking at it from, it looks impossible to keep anybody. But even as we speak, they're signing players. They signed about 4 or 5 guys already. Where'd that money come from?
Yeah, it always makes you think about that, each season, and, it's changing every year, with how they're doing it. Especially with COVID this year, everybody's taking a hit, and, hopefully things will keep going up and turning out good, for the whole league. So that way it can be a little bit more manageable with, keeping players and keeping the teams going.
Mm-hmm. I just.
But real quick, I want to give a shout out to 49er Empire for Kobe, Chad Garrison, all my bros in the chat, and shout out to you, Ronbo.
Thanks, Josh. I just realized who you were. I see you in the chat all the time. It's Josh. Well, Josh, there's going to be this decision debate. What would be the most difficult decision coming up in the weeks ahead for the 49ers? Even though it looks like they have it all under control. I mean, they just signed Austin Walter. They've already signed Josh Rosen. These are all small contracts, but still they add up when you only have, they got like 18 mil to begin with?
I can't remember off the top of my head the number, but it's not that much to work with, really, compared to the Jets. These guys, the Jets are going to be getting a lot of big players coming probably this season.
And they're talking about getting rid of Darnold, or they're going to trade him, so get some more draft picks.
Well, they're talking about every quarterback getting rid of every quarterback right now.
Man, and all of them are coming to San Francisco.
Yeah.
I mean, they got Carson Wentz coming. Darnold's been coming for a long time. Deshaun Watson. Texas is just going to break down at some point and take the 3 first-round draft picks and Nick Bosa and say thank you very much, and he'll be our quarterback. Kirk Cousins has been already rumored to be here. As you know, Stafford
Carr
was coming here. And Carr?
Yeah, Carr.
If he's a quarterback, he's coming to San Francisco. So, but, yeah, we're going to find out in the weeks ahead. Because who knows? You never know. The NFL is a very sudden strike like a cobra thing. So we'll see.
Oh, yeah. And, with John and Kyle, this is what everybody doesn't get. If you're a 49er fan, you guys should know this by now. You guys could try to talk all the facts that you guys want to talk. You don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Nobody does. Yeah. And that's just plain simple.
They are surprising.
Yeah, they surprise me every single season, and they're going to do it again this year too.
Yeah, the Trent Williams at the draft night, nobody's seen that coming.
No, absolutely not. But some of the guys that I want to keep, because obviously we can't keep all of the guys, but I would like to see Verrette come back. Verrette did really good for us.
I think
we stuck with him.
Number 1 or 2 on the priority list. I can't imagine them letting him go.
Yeah, I think he's ranked number 2. And Trent Williams, he's up there too.
He's number 1.
He's got to be the number 1. And then I'd like to see Juszczyk stay with us.
Oh.
He's so critical. He's just like how George Kittle is for us. It's very critical.
Basically.
They go hand in hand.
Yeah.
You have to have those guys to, run the successful run games and the play action that, we do.
Yeah. Those key blocks.
And, yeah. And another guy that a lot of people, have a lot of hate for is Spoon. I mean, Spoon was playing lights out until he got injured.
Good, didn't he? If Spoon could just come through, he'd be one more guy that I could add to my list of saying, I told you. I thought he was going to be okay at the end of that last year, and then last year he went back in 2019, he fell into some kind of a funk and couldn't get out. And then last year, like you're saying, he's holding down DK Metcalf. What?
Yeah. Yeah, he looked great until he got injured. And, when he came back, he was never fully, 100% back from that injury. And I know that happens. It's, football. You're never going to be 100%.
No, especially toward the end of the season.
Yeah, I think his injury was a lot more severe than what was really put off.
Yeah.
But, like with Trent Williams, I could really see him not coming back, because he wants to test the market and he wants the big bucks.
Big. Yeah.
And somebody will. And, yeah, guys, don't be surprised if we draft a left tackle in the draft. I mean,
a lot of people breathe a sigh of relief because it's worrisome, to keep thinking about, will he take a deal that we could work with or not? So,
yeah,
we'll find out.
And if he doesn't get the deal that he wants, he could just sit out for a year.
No, he can't afford to sit out any more years. He's too old now.
Well,
we'll see.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Ronbo, that's all that I have to put out there.
Good stuff, because we're out of time. All right. Good to hear from you,
well,
Josh.
Perfect then. All right, Ronbo.
Yeah.
Good to hear from you too, man.
Talk to you later. See you in the chat. Oh, man. And let's see if Ellis is ready.
Ronbo, I'm just at the checkout line right now.
All right, we'll
about
come back.
to walk out.
We'll come back.
I just need one more call.
No problem.
Thanks, son.
All right. Hey, here he is, the prophet, Bill. Bill, what's on your mind tonight? Oh, God.
I was checking some.
You and Fly Guy have got to be the most entertaining duo. Bill, what is it?
I was checking some stuff on Josh Rosen. He's raw, but if he's developed, he could be really good. don't start him for at least about 3 seasons. So it looks like you're gonna have to roll with Jimmy like you want. Jimmy's gonna have to stay healthy to teach this guy, because if Jimmy's not healthy, he's gonna have to teach him on the sideline, and you need to worry about building the offense around these guys. And like I said, I feel really
Bill,
good
that's
about
why
next year.
I have a feeling they're going to draft a quarterback, and they've got to draft a good one too. If Josh can't,
There's not going to be any more
catch him.
good ones by the time we get it.
Well,
by the time we get there, there's not going to be really a good quarterback unless Trey Lance falls on our lap, which I don't see that happening.
But remember,
unless depends on where Watson goes and Prescott.
Well, see,
Prescott is now going to be entering a free agent pool soon.
is Jerry? You know what? Because what's his name? Andy did a pretty good job last year, didn't he? Well, Dalton? Yeah, Dalton did a pretty good job, actually. They were moving the ball kind of well, even though Dak wasn't around. In fact, I think Dalton, skills-wise, is probably as good as Dak, as long as you give him some protection. His accuracy is crazy.
I'm gonna let you sell that, because I want the Cowboys to take that bait. You sell that. Go ahead. I'm not gonna say his fault until they take the bait.
Listen, Jerry Jones.
I'll say all his fault.
Jerry is not going to pay Dak no $40 million. If Dak insists on $40 million a year, Jerry's not going to pay that. He's never going to do it.
And that's why they're never going to have a Super Bowl.
Jerry's got to stop GMing before they ever get a Super Bowl. That's not going to happen no matter what.
Right.
Until he hires somebody else to run the club and stop thinking he can do it, they're going to continue to have these years. He doesn't get it.
It looks like the redheaded stepchild takes a charge in Dallas. Where are the Chiefs fans at? I got a question. Where are you Chiefs fans at? Why are you hiding? Why are you jumping in a hole? When you robbed us last year, were we hiding? Were we jumping in a hole?
We've been paging them all night, Bill. They won't come out. They're watching. They know we're talking about them. They don't want to talk.
You had all that trash talking last year. Where are you at now? You were exposed. Let me get something clear here online. All right. I keep hearing people talk about Twitter and how they were robbed and how they gave it to Tom Brady and just all this mess. They just handed him the trophy. No! Get over it. You were exposed. What you did last season, they were easily able to flag you this game, bro. Come on. Quit crying about it. You were exposed. If they would have done the same thing last year and flagged them, they would never be
lost last year.
That's all they do was hold.
That's fine.
Quit crying about it. You were dipped in a ring, and that's all you're ever going to see. How many Super Bowls you going to win, Kansas City? 1. Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6. 1. 1 ring is all you get.
And it gets worse next year, Bill. Speak to the problem that a $500 million quarterback. Where's your money going to come from in the future? Who are you going to sign? Bunch of married minimums running around there, huh? Shoot.
If they make it back next year, they're not going to be able to win it. Because most likely they're going to face us. And I'm waiting for the rematch. I'm dying for it.
Bill, the formula, you saw what they did to stop that team. Now I understand their 2 tackles were missing, but still, the plan on how to beat that team is clear. You just sit back and stay in front of their receivers because they're too fast to take one-on-one. You got a frontline fresh rush. If I'm in the AFC, that's all I do. Build up that frontline rush, and I can get some other guys to play the secondary. But make sure that I don't have to do anything but rush 4 guys, 3 to 4 guys, and everybody else sit back, take care of Kelsey out, take Tyreek Hill out. Now, you guys don't have a run game? You better get one.
What was Le'Veon in this?
I don't know.
Did you not want to go against Antonio?
I forgot.
You didn't want to see Antonio on the field? What happened to Yeah, I was thinking about that. I didn't see him a single snap in that Super Bowl. What was
Hilaire?
Okay.
Hell yeah, whatever his name is. He did, and they wouldn't run him. They should have ran him more. He was doing a good job. Mahomes kept passing the ball. I said, you know what? I'm watching this unfold. You know, Patrick, if that was an RPO, you don't have to throw on everything down, especially the first half. I don't know. It's just my thinking. Bill, we're gonna. The investigation for Le'Veon Bell's got to continue, though. I'm gonna. Let me see you tomorrow, the next day.
Two things I want. Are you gonna be on Thursday?
Maybe for sure Friday.
Thursday is Shania's birthday, so it's late on Thursday.
We may have to come back for that reason alone.
Yeah, come back for Shania's birthday to wish her 49ers birthday. She wants that.
Right.
I'm supposed to put that announcement. She wants a 49ers shout out.
Right.
Anyways, go do the 49ers shout out. She's waiting for that.
Hey, you get ready? And 3, 2, 1. I love doing that.
And one more thing, Ronbo. I got something for the Chief people out there. Where you at? Come on out. Quit hiding. Face the music. All that smack talk last season, before the Super Bowl this year, and now you lost. You don't want to be seeing it all. Come on. Anyways, you have a nice day.
You too. Night, Bill.
Chickens.
Change your name. Go from the Chiefs to the Chickens. McVay showing no mercy. Stafford unleashed in L.A., a.k.a. Rudy, says, you say Rams have no cap money, never have first-round picks, still 3 playoff appearances, 4 straight years, winning records. So why do Niners always suck with all those first-round picks? Rudy, my whole card on you will always be the same. We still sweep the Rams on an annual basis, except for 1 year. 408 Kill Shark 1. What do KC and Lambs have in common? The streaker was able to get in the end zone, and KC Lambs couldn't in their Super Bowl. You know, we're going to have to put up with Rudyisms until next year, aren't we? We got to see him mad as hell that night, though. Wasn't he mad? Rudy came in and said all kind of bad things. Mr. Polite Rudy, and he was all pissed off. Hey, Ellis! Let's see if Ellis is ready.
Ronbo.
Ellis. Oh, Ellis,
sir.
man. Oh, man, tonight's subject matter was about who are we keeping. Because from where we're sitting, nobody can actually figure out the math here. John Lynch is running around looking like there's no problem here. But, you know, what are you thinking?
Well, I mean,
and just who are you
we
keeping?
talking about who we keeping?
Yeah.
Well, I'll say who. Let me say who I think can go.
Okay.
D4 West. Yeah. D4 Western Richburg's got to go. I don't care for Richard Sherman. He can go.
He already left.
Yeah. Then Solomon Thomas can go. T. Cole can go. Eric McKinnon is gone. Jet is on a jet.
I think he left last week.
yeah, he's gone. He gave us the peace signs. But that's, good riddance. And then I don't know. I think there's a couple of guys that we had on there. Is it Nzacha?
Yeah,
I think
Nzacha.
is he coming? He's he's supposed to be, in the contract, or I think he's a free agent too. So we got a couple of guys that we can kind of do without. And then we need to restructure Jimmy. And I feel like that's very important. I'm hoping that Kyle's already got that, kind of emotion. I keep hearing talk about Russ in Seattle. He's supposed to be getting paid like $32 million or something next year.
35.
They can't afford. Oh God, here we go. So $35 million, and they don't have the money, so they might be getting rid of him, and that could be good. That could work out for some, for some other teams because there's some, some money that can be adjusted there. And
nobody's gonna trade for Wilson at this. Isn't Russ? How old is Russ? Unless he gets a Seahawks situation. I mean, not a Seahawks, but I mean a Bucs situation where the team is ready to go to the Super Bowl now. But how many teams are ready to go to the Super Bowl? Unless, the Ravens might think about that. I say that because
there's a couple of teams that would definitely use a Russell Wilson right about now. So but
if you can afford it,
but yeah. So that's. But anyway, so I don't know, but I see there's a lot of guys in free agency and other teams, like we got a lot of free agents coming up where there's a lot of guys that are going to be on the market too. Ryan Kerrigan and. I mean, there's just a lot of different players. I really want to get Aldon Smith. Everybody may not agree, but I think he's a changed man, and I think he would love to come back and play for us. He even went to the Raiders. He was so bitter. He was mad. They made him even go to the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? Just come on back home, Aldon. You know what I'm saying? We still love you.
Aldon, but he didn't want to move his house.
Being productive and you coming to play.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but anyway, so I'm just saying, so we can try to, because we could put together a masterful team, this year. We already have all of the pieces already.
Yeah.
We just didn't, Kyle just didn't utilize all the weapons as much as I think sometimes, Coach, Reed does, tend to. He kind of tries to spread it out and use all of his weapons. You know what I mean? I think Kyle can benefit from doing that. You see,
Ellis, you know what, though? I think Tom took over that game. I don't even think he was getting any signals from Arians. I really don't. I think Tom was calling that whole game.
Oh, yeah, no. Tom definitely, and that's the thing. That's why we didn't get Tom, is because I don't think I think his pride would have gotten away, and they weren't willing to, as an organization, to step aside and let,
Tom
Brady come and tell them what the hell he wants to bring in.
Yeah.
In any capacity, just because of the pride portion of it, and would actually maybe even compromise a situation where we could have won a Super Bowl. If we could have just, it's negotiable. There's some, we can have some consideration, and that's what Russell's trying to advocate for. And a lot of other players, they want to know what's going on. That's what Deshaun's mad about. He wants to know what's going on. They want to be a part of the, conversation, so that they can try to build a team that's a contender. You know what I mean? And so I think. That was probably what happened with the Tom Brady situation.
And Ellis, you're right.
I couldn't imagine
Rodgers
having
be mad
Tom
too.
Brady.
Right. Because
what's going to happen with
shots.
Rodgers, fam? Exactly.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen with that?
That's what I'm saying. A lot of these vets, like Rodgers, Wilson, who else is a really hard? Breeze was retiring. These guys have been around for a long time. Okay, you guys see what Tom did. I've been asking you about that for years. Let me help you. I can bring guys over here. I can do things on my own toward the end of the game when we really got hanging over a cliff. I just need your trust. And that's what's going to happen. Rodgers especially.
Yeah, I want Kaijuan. I want Juice. I want Jason Verrette. I know everybody's I'm cool with having Trent Williams. I'm good with trying to lock in Trent Williams. Yeah. I'm not dying over Trent Williams like everybody else is, but I guess he is imperative, being a part of our offense. Yeah. I just feel like we could do some things in the draft, or find somebody else to kind of, fill in those spots with and maybe delegate those funds. But, just because the guarantee or the lack thereof with Trent, moving forward, we just don't know. I would just say for something to happen, but we'll see. I'm good with him coming, man. I just,
You're right. We're going to see.
Him using his leverage that he got. I just didn't really like that portion of it. And that to me is like a character little issue for me. And so I don't know, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully that doesn't spill over into this team next year.
No, that's not going to happen.
Since we signed it.
All right. Let's see what I'm going to be back either tomorrow. Either tomorrow or Friday. All right, looking for you.
Oh yeah, and we need KB.
Yeah,
bring back KB for a couple $.
Definitely,
he's gonna come back. You know what I'm saying? Okay,
so.
family.
All right.
Appreciate
Night,
you.
Ellis.
Appreciate you always, brother Ronbo.
Thanks,
Shout out to
man.
the Nine and Faithful and the whole chat, man. Y'all, yeah, man. Let's get real flagrant in the comments, gentlemen.
Now, Eddie
Peace.
Ramirez ain't here today, so it's kind of calm. All right, fam.
Oh, okay, cool. And no Rudy Poo.
You know, no, Rudy's in there. All right, fam. And by the way, if anybody doesn't know by now, Rudy's the only guy who has the Rams logo and those extraordinarily long names. Rudy can never have another one or two names. He's got to have a whole sentence as a name. That's McVay showing no mercy. Stafford unleashed illness. That's Rudy. Okay. Hey, Bethel.
Hey, Rumble.
Hey, Bethel. That's it. Tonight, Bethel, we're saying goodbye to people. And you can do one way or the other. Who's on your list of people that you can definitely do without? Or who is it that you definitely cannot do without? It's a long list of the guys you got to get rid of, but it'll say everything just to give the list of guys you're going to keep. It's kind of scary, too, because there's, do you keep Kaijuan Williams? Some people think Kaijuan Williams can probably be replaced. Juice is like, you just can't replace a Juice. And Williams and Verrette are pretty much the top of the list. But what are you thinking?
I think whoever wants to stay in this team is, going to do their deals, and whoever doesn't is basically gonna take off.
Yeah.
So
he might be back though, Bethel. Not everybody's got deep pockets this year, so and the 49ers would be wise to let him do that too. I worry about Williams, though, Bethel. He's going to check the market, and the 49ers know it. And if he's asking for $23 million or above, we're going to lose him.
Yeah, it just you could see Trent. You could see it's on the wall that he basically wants money. It's the same thing like with Richard Sherman.
Yeah.
Richard Sherman, that's the only thing that he wants.
Yep.
He said he wants to be in a contender and that we can't afford him.
Mm-hmm. So these guys are in their 30s is what the problem is.
Yeah. Yeah, so, it's, right now it's just, whoever wants to stay in this team is going to stay in this team. And, one thing that, people have to realize also is that Tom Brady did not have people hitting him in the face. And, and he had his good line protecting him. If Jimmy G would have had what basically Tom Brady had, he would have won the Super Bowl.
And with the same amount of ease.
It's just, yeah. So
because you can see a lot better when you're not being, somebody in your face, or you're dodging right, dodging left, helmets coming underneath your chin. Yeah, you can see a lot better.
Yeah, so, it's not just, that Tom Brady did anything special. It's just that he had time. When a quarterback has time, they could do a bunch of stuff, And, and we show that, when, Jimmy has enough time, he could do that too. Tom Brady did not have to be out there worrying that, he's going to get hit by his blind side like Nick Mullins did, C.J. Betzler. All our quarterbacks, they have to be worried about getting hit in the blind side. And Brady didn't have to worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
and but you're just going to help with that, though, Bethel. Next year, I think Ayuk and Debo, as long as they're not healthy, I think they're going to make it easy for Jimmy G to get rid of that ball quickly. We're going to see. I think that's the goal they're working toward, quickness. You don't want to give that offensive line, make that offensive line work too long.
If you see in this Super Bowl, you see what will win championships. Defense win championships because
every year
that defense that defense was an
Except for last year.
defense.
Yeah.
You know, it was a defense performance. You know, I give all the props to the defense, because if that defense does not hold them to 9 points, you know, it becomes a different game. And
It's a shootout.
Also, if their right receivers on Kansas City Chiefs catch some of those balls, they would have got some points, but they didn't. You know, and you know, so you know that also gives you,
No
sometimes
chance.
you have to play rough with those receivers.
They
you know,
did, too.
thinking that hey, and they're not invincible either. So that's the mindset that you got to get there. And one thing that I give props to the offense of the Tampa Bay is that they did not, stick with bullshit. If they see something that that Kansas City was doing, they'll push them and they'll be, hey, don't be doing that shit to me.
No, that's true.
And that's
true. It did get a little testy out there a few times, didn't it? I forgot about that.
Yeah. So, and then a funny thing I seen, at least, when we lost, we're not breaking our TVs. I don't know how many Kansas City Chiefs breaking their TVs because they lost the Super Bowl. I'm all like, you as a fan, you don't do that.
You know what? Mahomes has a turf toe. He's got excuses built in. He's got turf toe. Both his left and right tackle was out of this game. I don't know what happened to Le'Veon Bell. He didn't play. So the Chiefs have excuses, and that they couldn't stay out of the referees' flags. Now that's another excuse they're using. The referees beat them up.
That's the thing. That's the thing that kind of pissed me off too. Is that I see these analysts saying, "Oh, about the referees." I see, all these people about, referees. I'm all like, where was that when that
Last
happened
year.
to us? Nobody was over here, saying, hey, about the referee, about the referee.
They were singing.
But because it's Kansas City.
Talk about how great Patrick Mahomes is, and this could be a dynasty, and on and on and on. I didn't turn on my TV for I didn't turn on those channels. Must have been a month, Bethel. Every time I turned it on, there they were.
I do the same thing.
Oh.
I do the same thing. I didn't want to watch. A friend of mine told me, hey, are you going to watch the Super Bowl this Sunday? Oh, is it this Sunday? I didn't even know because I did not watch anything of media or nothing. The only thing I would watch is nothing but Niner news, and that's it. That's the only thing I would watch.
Bethel, we got to go, though. I tell you what, I'm going to be back either tomorrow or Friday, and let's see what develops in Santa Clara.
All right. Good show, like always, Rumble. And one thing that we should realize too is that nothing gets leaked out of San Francisco unless they want it to get leaked out, and I don't think they will leak out certain stuff if things were not going right. So
true. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Bethel. Good stuff.
Have a good night, Rumble.
You too.
Hit the like for Rumble Sports.
Thanks, Bethel.
All right.
Night. Tommy Huxley is telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Tommy, thanks for that contribution. He says, I think Rudy fell on his head as a child. But the thing is, Tommy, I don't know if he was ever a child. You can't own squat when you are swept 2 years in a row, Rudy. You got to give Rudy credit, though. He's got a lot of nerve coming in here talking. Rudy! Darius!
Ronbo, how you doing, man?
Darius, all right, man. I'm 49ers. I'm wondering where the fat's going to get cut, like a lot of us are, and So I'm cutting players. I'm starting my cut list now and compare it with other people's cut lists. Darius, who can you do without?
Okay. This is one that a lot of people will not like. I know it. And that's Jason Verrette. Jason Verrette turns 30 in June. Okay. he's gonna turn 30, and I saw him get routed up this year, Ronbo. I don't know what you were watching, but I saw him get routed up a lot.
Yeah.
He was getting routed up a lot, and
Especially short routes.
Jason Verrette, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to signing him, but the thing is, I wouldn't mind signing him. But he's not going to take the money, like $2 million, $3 million a year that I want. That
No,
I
that's
like
not gonna
had. So you have to pay him like $7 million, $8 million a year
minimum.
I think that's like in that region, 10 million. Even if I think that that's what he's looking for, and for me, that's way too much for a guy who's a second corner. He's not going to be your first corner, because if he's your first corner, then you have a problem in the secondary.
Maybe not this year though, Darius, because you know a lot of teams don't have the money, can't afford, unless he wants to go play for the Jaguars or the Jets. He might.
Right. So that's my main thing. I mean, if I was a general manager, I'd be hesitant to sign Verrette because he is turning 30. And I'm not going to say, and like, let's not forget his injury history. Good for him. He played 1 year healthy, but I'm still very hesitant on his injury history, Ronbo.
He survived this year.
He torn his Achilles like how many times he's torn his ACL? Twice. He's torn his Achilles one time. I don't know what happened to him last year. Even earlier this year, he missed 3 games in the beginning of the season because of something that happened to him in training camp.
You know what's so funny? And he still got his speed. That is amazing how much damage he's done to his legs.
He's fast, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, if you re-sign him, I want him for $3 million, but he's not going to take that. So I think there's a lot of other like free agents that are quality corners that you can get for cheaper. Right, Ron? You know what I'm saying?
Because I don't know the free agent market yet for corners, but you know what? On June 1st, there may be some guys like Lattimore may be available. Although I don't know how in the world.
Yeah, no, Marshall, you have to trade for Marshall Lattimore. He's still in the contract, and you got to give up at least a first-round pick for Lattimore. So, and even if he was a free agent, Lattimore would be wanting like Jalen Ramsey type of money, and Jalen Ramsey making like $15 million a year.
I thought
that's
he was still
just way out of the water.
Yeah, he's not on a rookie contract anymore. I thought people were saying Lattimore would be available on June 1st. Really? Why would they do that?
No, because I think that because like the Saints, everybody knows their cap situation. So people are just saying hypothetically, if they were trying to fix the cap situation, they'd try to trade Lattimore, because Lattimore is an up and down corner, Yeah. Like Lattimore is not like a Jair or like a Jalen Ramsey, so he's an up and down. So I think that's what they're talking about. But yeah, you get to trade for Lattimore. He's not a free agent, and even if he was, the money he'd be wanting is just
so he's
way too much for us.
Yeah, he's definitely. 49ers do need to draft a quarterback. That means you know what that means, don't you, Darius? That means that most likely it is going to be returning next year is going to be Akello and Mosley, and they may draft another kid and see what else they can find out there. You never know we got a couple of guys on the practice squad from last year that they got. One of them they seem pretty high on. They signed Webster, so we're going to see.
Yeah, but there's a corner that I like from Oklahoma, Trey Brown, and he's going to be like a 3rd round, maybe 4th round pick, and I really want us to draft him because he plays in the what do you call this? What's the college football, the Big 12? Big 12, right? That's with Oklahoma and Texas and all that stuff.
Right.
He plays in the Big 12 a lot, and for Big 12, he's a very good cornerback. He can blitz, he can do all that type of stuff. And I think for a 3rd round, 4th round pick, he'd be a really good corner.
You got to stay in the SEC as much as possible, though. That's where the best guys.
That's true. That is true. But I think for 4th round, But for 4th round pick, I think you're getting a good value for 4th round. Like, you're not going up too high to get him. You know what I'm saying?
And the 49ers can find these guys. So yeah, you
can still get your Patrick Surtain or your Caleb Farley or whatever, and your 12th pick, right?
Would that be special if they picked out 2 guys that are very, very good? Olufanu, I think his name is. He's got a brother, I think, that's in that conference you're talking about. The 49ers, I understand, are looking at too.
And for offensive line, you don't have to get a 1st round. There's this one guy in the Senior Bowl, and his draft stock went crazy up, but you're still gonna be able to get him a 3rd round or 2nd round pick. He's an interior offensive lineman, and dude's just a freak.
Is he?
I don't know what school he's from. I know he's from like a low key school. So I don't know, but he went crazy during the Senior Bowl. and so that's someone I keep an eye on. But Ronbo, because I was like a lot of people, I was watching the Super Bowl, and the thing that made us really good last year was without a doubt a pass rush, right?
Yeah.
And our pass rush coming into this new season is going to take a massive hit, right? You're going to have Bosa coming off an ACL. Armstead's questionable. And you're going to have Kinlaw, who's a really good run stopper, but his pass rush still requires a lot of development and need a whole D forward situation. Yeah. So I was sitting back last night just thinking to myself, what if he because this is like a totally type of John Lynch thing to do, to maybe draft an edge rusher with that 12th pick, like a Gregory Rousseau. You know what I'm saying?
And I can see that happening. If that happens, you'll probably be fine as long as he's at least as good or serviceable on the edge. Because Nick's been through this tearing his ACL before. I look for him not to be losing much. Anyway, Darius, we got to go, though. Let me see you tomorrow or Friday, and we'll pick up from there.
All right, Ronbo, I'll catch you later, man.
All right. Have a good night. And there he is. It's Niners.
All day.
Norm! What's up?
Man, I'll tell you what's up, man. So this news I've been hearing about, I've seen one particular link. I was scrolling on Facebook, and somebody on the Niners fan group had posted a link talking about the Niners are already preparing for their oh, wait a minute. Got the ice machine going. Oh yeah, we preparing for a trip to Super Bowl 56.
Well, I think I saw that article. I didn't read it yet.
Yeah. Where is Super Bowl 56 gonna be at? I'll figure it out. All I know is
next year's LA.
Super Bowl 50. Huh?
Wait, what number are we on? We're on 55. It's next year. It's in LA. It's next year.
That'd be funny.
Hey, wait, it's 56 next year? Yeah, we just did 55, 56,
in LA
yeah.
and win that thing.
Oh, Rudy would have to.
Because
all of LA would be on suicide watch.
Rudy be mad. Rudy be mad, bro. Especially if Matthew Stafford got to show up and clean up afterwards. Like, he'd be mad.
And if Stafford has issues next year and we sweep him again.
No, you know what though? Like, it's oh my God. How is that gonna happen though? Like, but then you know what? I trust that this front office. I don't know what they got up their sleeve, but you know they got.
But it sure seems like it. Sure seems like it. They're awfully cool up there, aren't they? They got cocky. That article you saw. I saw that article you're talking about. They're getting cocky.
Right.
How you gonna get cocky?
So yeah, and a little too comfortable for my comfort, yo.
I know, right?
Right. So I'm checking it out. Like, okay. With Jet McKinnon talking about he getting up out of there, I don't know. I think why? Because they be like, you know what? We can do it. Whether you're here or not.
Told him he was getting out of here.
They did it last year when he was not playing, and they didn't. And you know what I'm saying? Like whatever he was doing when he was playing, I've seen one play where it was cool, but other than that, I'm like, where you at, buddy? Where was you at, buddy?
You know, I think they told Jet.
I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do Jet like that, Jet, because that one play was cool though.
Hey, the writing was on the wall, Norm. The writing was on the wall, man. They're going with Mostert and Jeffrey Wilson.
Straight up, because them boys was the ones that was really putting in work. You feel me? Mm-hmm. That's what I want to see on the running back court. And talking about Todd Gurley? Who was talking about Todd Gurley earlier?
But you know what? The other day I was talking about Todd Gurley, and I said, okay, Todd Gurley, Jeffrey Wilson Jr.
It'd be cool, but is it necessary?
No, it's not. Gurley was talking about how he loved to play for Kyle Shanahan. He said, Gurley was quoting, Kyle be dialing it up.
Because Todd Gurley, he not gonna get 1,000 though. Because you got 3, you're gonna be going up against 2 other running backs. You're not gonna get 1,000 unless the running core gets 3,000 yards next season, and then you might.
It's all about the health of them running backs, Norm. We run through running backs every year. We were down to like one running back again this year, right? In the last game?
No, we need an O-line. If if you get an O-line, then you ain't going to be able to run it back. If you get a cool O-line, our running backs might have space to just, run freely. They won't get beat up so bad.
Man.
Not running backs didn't get beat up so bad in 2019. You know what I'm saying? They had cool O-lines. You feel me? They weren't getting knocked around like they was last year.
Well, Kyle gets mad at somebody. That's why we see Matty B, who's now over at not Matty. Yeah, he's over in Miami, and they didn't let him play over there. So there's something about the offense and running backs. If you got any speed, you could do well with Kyle. So
yeah, and we need. I just think like. I was just looking at how these Buccaneers is really talking about, like, Mike Evans talking about taking pay cuts. They talking about Tom Brady want to take pay cuts.
Tom does that all the time.
Try to keep the team together. And I'm thinking if these 49ers want to get to Super Bowl 56, that'd be a cool way to do it. Retire Tom Brady. I won't not retire Tom Brady, but, beat him in the playoffs. If y'all feel like y'all gonna have to beat Tom Brady and them in the playoffs, they're going back.
Yeah,
they're going back. They're going back to the playoffs.
I feel confident about Jimmy G taking a pay cut. I'm really sure he's going to. Jimmy doesn't want to see those guys. Been supporting Jimmy G. They've been getting in the press's face every time we start talking about Jimmy. So I know if Kyle says, "Listen, we need back up on some money to get some of your buddies signed." G'll do that in a heartbeat. All right, I feel very confident about that.
Ask your mentor. Just if you got a problem with doing it, G, this is the first time I ever talked to Jimmy G live and direct. Like, what I'm saying? Just like if you got an issue with doing it, just ask your mentor, man. Yeah. Your mentor already talking about taking a pay cut, and he won a Super Bowl. He won a bowl. He won that thing.
And also
in the house.
That locker room, most of those guys worship Jimmy, right? He's really a solid leader when it comes to them. So Jimmy will definitely take up for those guys. If they need his money, he'll restructure. I'm not even.
Right.
I would bet the farm.
I think G will though. I just feel like he that type of teammate. You feel me? That I know if I was in that position, I'd be that teammate. Like, bro, yeah, I gotta take a pay cut just to keep some of these important players that we got on the team. Let them stay here so we can take another shot at it.
He's gonna be like Russell
Wilson.
I
think that's why. But yeah. I think that's already in the works, which is why they're so confident about putting that article out. You feel me?
I know, right? They've been way too comfortable anyway. But yeah. Norm, good stuff, fam, as usual. I'll see you tomorrow or the next day. I'm waiting for something to break and see. Tomorrow, right. I keep thinking every day between now and free agency day is going to be serious. All right.
There's going to be some interesting news, but I just know this, Niners fans, no matter what happens, no matter what quarterback is on the field, expect them to make a run for Super Bowl 56 in LA, in our division rival's house, you feel me, after showing the world why Matthew Stafford was such a great deal for the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah. As Nick is picking him up off the
ground. That's all I got to say.
Hey, Matt, welcome to the NFC West, bro. All right, Norm. See you tomorrow the next day. All right. And where we at now? Slick.
Ooh la la. Ooh la 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 la. What's up, Ronbo?
Slick, you know what? I forgot to do that. I was so delighted. I forgot to sing the song. They get the song. I mean, they're not the 49ers, but if you beat KC, especially the way you beat them, I needed to sing. Damn.
You know who was singing, though?
Oh.
Them KC fans were singing, though. They were singing.
Know, right?
They were like, oh, no. Oh, no.
Hey, but Slick, you know what? I didn't see that kind of beat down coming. I was shocked. I didn't. First of all, I thought Kansas City would continue to get away with the murder they were getting away with us last year. So, but man, ref said, not today. This ain't no Bill Vinovich crew here, boy. And they called
You know what?
everything.
I actually didn't know which Tampa Bay Buccaneer team was going to show up because I knew they were capable of playing like that. But I mean, they've shown that they've been ghosts in a few games, so I didn't know who was actually gonna like step up. Like I knew like the big names that were supposed to step up, like the linebackers and JPP and all that.
Yeah, the defense.
I didn't know.
Defense was tough.
And what actually shocked me was the referees calling all the stuff on KC. That was a shocker. I was
everybody
like, whoa.
slick. Shocked everybody.
I know. I'm like, I mean, Kermit the Frog is the new face of the NFL, but I'm gonna be loyal to the originator, which is like Brady. So we're gonna make sure that he wins. So, but everybody knows, like even if you're not a Niner fan, everybody knows that if they would have made those calls last year, like we would have won that game.
Oh,
and it's not just on the refs though. It's also on Kyle, because Kyle went away from all the stuff that worked, like the Debo. Nobody could stop Debo, and we didn't even run the ball the way we ran it all year. So I mean, that's on Kyle. So that's what's a little suspect to me. It's like, okay, why did he go away from the shit that worked? Excuse me, French, but
and maybe Kyle got paid too.
So it's just a stuff that it's like conspiracy, like I mean, I'm trying not to see it that way because it's gonna ruin football for me, but it just seems like it's set up.
Sometimes it does look that way. I really feel the same. I really worry about that. And like you're saying, though, we don't need to talk about it too seriously because it makes it. I left the NBA because of that. I used to love the NBA, and I seen too much. I said, you know what? That was clearly this is a setup.
Yep.
So
Yeah. So I'm not even shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if Jimmy restructures and not just him, but like other players as well. Because they like Debo said, y'all lucky, the NFL lucky that you were hurt, or else I don't think it would have been easy for Tampa Bay. If we were 100%, I don't think Tampa Bay's getting through us. I'm sorry, but no.
Hey, Slick.
And I'm not delusional. It's just we have.
No, you ain't. You're definitely on target. That team was stacked to the rim. And the only reason they didn't make it, even no matter what, if they would have stayed healthy, they would have walked through that. That was just too much talent. Damn, Jimmy G couldn't have did it. But bullshit. Jimmy would have done it with ease. Jimmy wouldn't even have to work that hard. He looked just like Tom in that Super Bowl. Thing is, he'd had too many weapons. You got Weston Richburg, you got Trent Williams. The only thing that's holding back is Mike McGlinchey. Mike McGlinchey couldn't have stopped. It wouldn't have made any difference. They would have beat the crap out of the rest of the NFL. That's why it was slick. We had too much talent. God is probably on the Bucs side. That's the only reason why. That's the only thing that stopped the 49ers last year.
So that's why I think that like all the players, I mean, they know that we're better. We're a better team than them. Like no matter how many weapons they got and what they're gonna do, but because they know that. I mean, don't you think that they talk with each other like, man, we could have beat them? So that's why I think that's what Debo did. Yeah, Debo said what he said. He's like, you know what? He's like salivating, like, man, I can't wait to get back next year. We're 100%, we're healthy, like we gotta whoop that ass. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's KC. I don't care if it's Baltimore. They know what they're capable of. You know what I mean?
I got Nick and company back on that front line. I got an offense now that finally probably can play as fast as Kyle Shanahan wants them. Kyle can dial up any play he wants to now. So it doesn't matter. There's no holding back. He's got dual weapons that can tear a team apart, and just Debo and Kittle alone. Now you add Ayuk. Kendrick came around this year. He had a few games where he had too many drops, but for the most part, Kendrick was on target. Now you got Jordan Reed to add to that. What are they going to do? There's nothing I could have done.
I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle drafts Darby from Arizona State, because he looked really good in the Senior Bowl and stuff.
Is it what position?
He's a wide receiver from Arizona State. That wide receiver from Arizona State. He has hands. He has great hands. Even Ayuk was talking about, don't sleep on him because he's just as good as him. But I wouldn't be surprised if we get both of them. If we get Pitts from Florida, and then we go wide receiver we'll trade up and get Darby.
I still like that dude.
And if that's the case,
go ahead.
Oh yeah, I want Tony from Florida as well, but
yeah,
he has trouble
Yeah.
He has trouble holding onto the ball, but he could learn that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know. All I seen
I
was
mean,
his highlight reel.
he could separate, but I mean, at least at the Senior Bowl, he was dropping a couple passes. But I'm not worried. I'm excited to see who the hell they're gonna get. There's like so much talent in this draft. And next year I'm gonna try to sneak in that stadium, that Super Bowl, especially because Niners are gonna be in it. I'm gonna try to sneak in that mud, man. It's just in my backyard.
Oh, and also I still can't wait to find out why are Kyle and John running around so damn cool. I mean, what are they? What's going on? I can't wait to see what happens. We'll find out.
Because they know how good we are, and that we could. If they saw how easier it was in Tampa Bay, like lucky we weren't in there, So if we sign whoever the hell we sign and who we bring in, I mean, we're gonna be unstoppable. I can't wait.
Gotta keep some people. All right, fam. It's good. Always good to hear from you, Slick. I'll tell you what. Let's
All right,
got the
Ronbo.
ball, maybe, or the next thing. All right.
All right, for sure. I'll get at you. Good Niners.
I love when he does that. Because, damn, when's the last time? Chris, Montana's still the GOAT. Different era. Most dominant in Super Bowl 49ers. Get back next year. Peace, fam. Chris, I know, man. But 7 rings. That's outrageous. That is never going to happen again. That is never going to happen again. There'll be never any one quarterback walking around running out of fingers to put on rings. 7-time Super Bowl champ. You need to play that many years to begin with, and not many quarterbacks are going to, and you need to win all those Super Bowls. I got to give it to Brady. He took advantage of a great situation, but this last 2 Super Bowls, I'm still talking about. I made a joke on Twitter, but I was kind of serious. I said, you know what? Tom had to score 12 points in these last 2 Super Bowls. The Patriots defense body slammed the Rams 2 years ago. The Bucks, they put Mahomes on his bicycle from the first quarter to the fourth, and they scored less than 10 points? Vegas must have been, what? No way. That game, the over-under was 56, because everybody knew there was going to be points scored in this game. The Bucks came, the Chiefs scored 9 points. There's Brady sitting back there, uniform looking as clean as mine. They sacked him 1 time. The rest of the time, they couldn't do a damn thing with Gronk. AB came in and made a cameo appearance into the end zone. They had another tight end that had a great day, too. Fournette. Ronald Jones standing around watching. He could have killed him as well. So I'm saying, that was a traveling all-star team. I've been saying it for a long time. All they had to do was get used to each other. If they're going to stay together till next year, Will always says it ain't going to be the Tampa Bay. We got to deal with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers if they stick together next year, fam. It's all right. It'll be fine. Fam, I'm going to go. Fam, thank you for the contributions. Guys, appreciate it so much. I may see you tomorrow or the next day for show. Boy, it's like doing cardio for half an hour.